Johnny Bosika, ona Johnny Bosiko. Ona Johnny Bosika, ona Johnny Bosiko. Ona Johnny Bosika, ona Johnny Bosiko. Tegura yo, tegura fulamingo. Tegura yo, tegura fulamingo. Wangidongoreba, wangidongwa. Wangidongoreba, wangidongwa. Ay, wangidongoreba, wangidongwa. Hey, wangidongoreba, wangidongwa. Yeah, for me,
welcome you all to the fourth session of Makerere University 71st graduation ceremony. To all our graduands, parents, sponsors, guardians, and well-wishers, both physically present at the Freedom Square, and those, the majority, following us live on NTV, live on UBC Radio 98.0 FM, Makerere University social media pages, Makerere University Business School social media pages, and on Zoom. You're most welcome. In also a very special way, we thank the Daily Monitor and the New Vision for prominently covering all the sessions for the 71st graduation ceremony. Let us have the anthems.
may now be seated. And let's wait for the Chancellor to make a very special proclamation. Mr. Chancellor, sir.
By virtue of the authority entrusted to me, I constitute this assembly into a congregation of Makerere University.
Another round of applause for the Chancellor. He has legally constituted us into a legal assembly. Thank you, Mr. Chancellor. Mr. Chancellor, sir, the nation of Uganda chose to choose God first. And this is clearly enshrined in our national motto, which says, "For God and my country." And with that, therefore, it is an honor for me to request Reverend Francis Osire, the Deputy Chaplain, St. James Chapel, Makerere University Business School, to come and lead us in an opening prayer. Reverend.
Let us honor God in a word of prayer as we are. Almighty God, we lift our hearts in gratitude for the 71st graduation of Makerere University. We are thankful for the leadership of this great institution, whose legacy continues to shine brightly under their guidance. For the many who labor in and outside of the lecture room to create a conducive environment for research and learning and for holistic development of the minds, souls, and bodies of the students. This is a time to remember the ways you have shown your loving kindness and faithfulness over the years. We thank you for the graduates who are ready to take on the road before them. We are grateful for the parents, for the guardians, for the families, for the friends who have provided various kinds of resources to bring them this far. God of all hope, even as these your people proceed into the next phase of life, with all the uncertainties surrounding the COVID-19 pandemic that lie ahead, we trust you, our God, to be a solid rock and fortress for them. We place our hope in you alone, for you are the God of our destiny. Sovereign God, as we send out these your people, may a new breed of leadership and the dawn of a new era rise from these graduates. May they be men and women of integrity in all they do. Almighty God, we beseech you to let your peace prevail in our country and at this university. And all God's people said, Amen.
Thank you, Reverend Osire, for that prayer. Mr. Chancellor, sir, this is the day that God has chosen for Makerere University Business School. It's now my honor and pleasure to request the Vice Chancellor of Makerere University, Professor Barnabas Nawangwe, to come and address the congregation. Professor Barnabas Nawangwe.
Chancellor of Makerere University, Professor Ezra Suruma, Honorable Ministers, representatives of government ministries, departments, and agencies, the Chairperson of Makerere University Council, Mrs. Lona Magara, the Chairperson of MOOPS Council, Dr. Isaac Nsovia, the Chairperson of Appointments Board, Mr. Kiwanuka Kiriowa, members of Council of Makerere University, members of Council of MOOPS, the Deputy Vice Chancellors and members of the University Management Team, the Principal, MOOPS, the Chancellors, Rectors and sister universities and institutions, members of the University Senate, members of the MOOPS Academic Board, members of staff of MOOPS, parents and guardians, graduates, the media, fraternity, distinguished visitors, ladies and gentlemen. It is my honor and privilege to welcome you all to the fourth session of the 71st graduation ceremony of Makerere University. This is a historic occasion, being the first graduation to be held in the blended mode due to the challenges brought about by the COVID-19 pandemic. I wish to assure all our graduates, parents, and guardians who are following us on TV and via the university's social media platforms that everything possible has been done to ensure that our graduates get a memorable experience of this special day in their lives. This arrangement has been made in order to ensure the safety of all our graduates and guests. Mr. Chancellor, sir, ladies and gentlemen, for the 71st graduation ceremony, a total of 12,550 students will be awarded degrees and diplomas of Makerere University in various disciplines. Of these, a record 108 will receive PhDs. And I'm glad to say that MOOPS is contributing quite well to this number. Of these, 38 graduates are female, representing 35% of the total. A total of 1,160 graduates will receive master's degrees, of whom 434 are female, representing 37% of the total. Of all the 12,550 graduates, 51% are female and 49% are male. I applaud all members of staff who will be awarded PhDs and master's degrees in various disciplines. Your dedication to improving yourselves academically as well as our students is commendable. I am certain this will boost Makerere University Business School academic profile. I also take this opportunity to congratulate all members of staff who have been promoted to various academic levels in the last 1 year. Mr. Chancellor, sir, in October we will launch the celebrations to mark 100 years of Makerere's excellent service to humanity. The year-long celebrations will be capped by the climax in October next year. Celebrations will be held in different parts of the country to pay tribute to all the people of Uganda who have helped build the university to its current prestigious position as one of the best universities in Africa and the world. I call upon all alumni and friends of Makerere to actively participate in these celebrations. In the same vein, I wish to inform the congregation that we will soon launch the fundraising drive to restore our iconic building, which was destroyed by fire in September last year. Mr. Chancellor, sir, ladies and gentlemen, Makerere University has registered a number of achievements over the last 1 year. Under the RIF, this is the Research and Innovation Fund provided by the government. Researchers at MOOPS are conducting research in the following areas: management of polymers waste in slum areas in Kampala, the Governance Forum, a culturally based model for building grassroots governance structures. And I think this fits very well with the parish model of development. The design and implementation of an innovative milestone-based program monitoring system for the university. policy and regulatory compliance with smart grid technologies, and post-electricity sector reform in Uganda. I congratulate the members of staff of MOBS for taking advantage of the RIF, and we welcome more to apply for these funds. Due to the effects of COVID-19, we were unable to process transcripts for our graduates before the graduation ceremony. However, I am happy to inform all our graduates that we have now received all the materials required for the production of the transcripts, and they should be able to collect them within a couple of weeks. The academic registrar will announce the schedule for collection of the transcripts. In conclusion, Mr. Chancellor, I wish to assure all our stakeholders that the Makerere University and Makerere University Business School are united in purpose. Our singular joint goal is to serve the people of Uganda diligently. I wish to reaffirm our joint commitment to support the government in her efforts to emancipate our people from poverty and marginalization. And maybe let me take this opportunity to encourage all positive people in Uganda to look out for the good work that Makerere and the MOBS are doing, rather than looking for disagreements between the two institutions. There are no disagreements. We are all working for our country. May I now take this opportunity to invite Professor Waswa Balunya, the principal of MOBS, to come here and greet the people and make his remarks.
Thank you very much, Professor Nawangwe, the Vice Chancellor of Makerere University, the Chancellor of Makerere University, the Deputy Vice Chancellor's President, the Chairperson of Council, and all protocols observed. A very good morning to all of you on this forum this morning. I would like to congratulate all those who are graduating today, those who are here, and those who are out on Zoom and other media. Congratulations, because you've done your job. I'd like to thank my colleagues, the staff in MOBS, for the wonderful job that you've done that has delivered this. Many years back, we were struggling to produce PhDs, and Mr. Chancellor, sir, I feel so proud that today we have so many of them graduating in Makerere University. As the Vice Chancellor indicated, I'd like to thank him and management of this university for removing all the difficulties that we had some time back. We used to have disputes with Makerere, but we no longer have them. We'd like to thank you for your leadership, for the encouragement, for the assistance that we've continued to receive to make us part of this magnanimous university. To the graduates, go out and change the world. You've got what it takes to do it. You've gone through the various stages that make you a graduate, and as you graduate, we'd like to congratulate you and task you to go out there and make your contribution to this country. Don't be a number. I guess you know what it means. When they're putting you down 6 foot down, they should be able to say, this is what you did in this world. So go out. There are a lot of problems in this country, poverty in this country, but you have what it takes to make that small contribution to transforming this society. This is your day. Well, again, to thank you for coming to MOBS. Thank you for studying in MOBS. And again, I thank my colleagues who've done this wonderful job of ensuring that you get what you deserve this morning. Friends, parents who have supported MOBS, I want to thank you for that wonderful contribution that you make to make MOBS what it is. I would like again to congratulate Makerere University on the 71st graduation ceremony. Thank you very much. Congratulations, and may God bless you all. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor Walunywa, for those remarks. Maybe at this juncture, let me inform you, Professor Walunywa, and all the colleagues from MOOBS, that the parish development model, which was coined by our Chancellor, was finally approved by Cabinet and Parliament. This is the one thing I think we have been waiting for in Uganda. And I want to invite you, colleagues from MOOBS, that MOOBS and Makerere should take the lead in ensuring that this model works. That we go out to our communities and ensure that the model works. We'll be inviting you for a seminar where the Chancellor will be talking to us about this model. And on that note, may I therefore take this privilege and honor to invite the Chancellor to address the congregation.
Thank you very much, Professor Nawangwe, for your remarks. And thank you very much, Professor Walunywa, also for your kind remarks. Honorable ministers who are present, honorable members of Parliament, members of the Diplomatic Corps, your lordships, the judges of the judicature, religious leaders, the leadership of Kampala Capital City Authority, representatives of government ministries, departments, and agencies, chancellors and former chancellors, the chairperson of Makerere University Council, members of Makerere University Council, the Vice Chancellor of Makerere University, former Vice Chancellors, members of the University Management Team, former University Management staff, Vice Chancellors, rectors, and principals of other universities and institutions, members of the University Senate, members of staff of Makerere University, parents and guardians, graduands, the media fraternity, distinguished visitors, ladies and gentlemen. It is my great pleasure and privilege to welcome you all to the fourth day of Makerere University's 71st graduation ceremony. I congratulate the graduands, the parents, the guardians, as well as all faculty, staff, and management of Makerere University for reaching this auspicious occasion. Thank you all very much for the job well done. Today, as the Vice Chancellor indicated, we are conferring degrees and awarding diplomas to students from Makerere University Business School. I wish to thank the faculty and staff of the school for the excellent work you have done to prepare the students who are graduating today. Thank you very much. I'm confident that these graduates have acquired a great deal of knowledge and life skills that will enable them to thrive in their professional careers and to contribute enormously to the prosperity of our country. Additionally, I commend the leadership of MOOBs for the various training programs which they conducted both virtually and in various physical settings that were aimed at mentoring the graduates in leadership, creativity, entrepreneurship, and in building both public and private enterprise. Now let me take you back a bit into history. Uganda's history over the past 60 years has been marked by economic and political fluctuations. In economics, we refer to economic fluctuations as business cycles. We have seen periods of relative prosperity followed by widespread deterioration in economic well-being. Politically, we have had times of peace as well as times of instability and war. For example, when I first returned from the United States in 1973 to take up a position as a lecturer at Makerere University, Uganda was under severe political and economic stress. I remember very well my first attendance of Makerere University graduation ceremony. The Chancellor was none other than President Idi Amin. And he had some difficulty in some of the terminologies that had to be pronounced. I hope I'm not having the same difficulties. The situation continued to deteriorate until the war of 1979, when Tanzania invaded Uganda and President Idi Amin was forced to flee. Since then, Uganda has continued to face important social, political, and economic challenges. Consequently, as we look at our history, it is easy to be discouraged. I personally was forced to go into exile both during the 1970s and again in the 1980s. However, we must not be discouraged. We must rise up to resolve both the endogenous and exogenous challenges that often come, so that we persevere to build a more peaceful and a more prosperous Uganda. To quote Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., we must not wallow in despair. Indeed, one of my favorite quotations is from the Old Testament, and it is a prayer by Jacob in which he says, "Lord, save me from the hand of my brother." Uganda is a land of many tribes, religions, and cultures. As with other African countries, the Europeans used their power to pronounce that these various tribes and cultures would become one nation. And they took us eventually to the United Nations and introduced us there as one nation, each of us. The challenge now has been handed over to us to live together in love and in peace with one another. When Jacob prayed to God to save him from the hand of his brother Esau, the latter had mobilized a battalion of fighting men to meet him as he was returning from 20 years of exile in Padanaram. God heard Jacob's prayer to save him from the hand of his brother. My brothers and sisters, history has put us here together. Actually, God has put us here. God put us here before the white man came. We were already here as neighboring tribes and religions. Then as now, our people yearned for peace and prosperity. They yearned for love and abundant crops and livestock and children. Today, we yearn for the same for ourselves, for our children, and for our neighbors. And so I want to light a candle of hope. When Jacob prayed to God to save him from the hand of his brother, who was coming to destroy his wives and children, God answered that prayer. God performed one of the most remarkable reconciliations in history. The troops stood aside and watched as the brothers who had prepared for war instead fell into each other's arms and shed tears of joy. The message I have for us today is do not wallow in despair. God is powerful, very powerful. He's able to reconcile us. He's able to transform the hands of war into the hands of peace. He's able to bring light where there is darkness. He's able to bring joy where there is bitterness. He's able to turn a heart of stone into a heart of flesh. He's able, and he will turn Uganda into a land of love, a land of freedom, and a land of prosperity. And you and I will be the instruments that God will use to transform Uganda into a great brotherhood. You may clap for that. So take your degree, take your faith, and take your candle. Go and light your world. Go and work for God and for your country. The God who created you and who has brought you this far has a plan and a purpose for your life. No power of hell, no scheme of man, and no circumstances can change that purpose or alter your destiny. Suffering will be there, but God will be by your side to take you through it. When I sat when you are sitting today in 1973 and watched President Idi Amin as Chancellor almost 50 years ago, I never had any idea that one day I would stand here in his place as the Chancellor of Makerere University. But God has planned out a destiny for you and for me, and we can be optimistic that that plan will indeed be fulfilled. Permit me to thank our music, dance, and drama performers. They have been a source of joy and beautiful emotion throughout these graduation ceremonies. On Tuesday, they brought tears of joy to my eyes when they sang, "Carry your candle into the darkness and go and light your world." A candle may be small in size, but when it is taken where there is darkness, it brings amazing relief and hope. These days, when electricity goes off, and sometimes does, and I'm in pitch darkness and wondering what to do, then somebody comes in with a candle. I feel my heart uplifted that I can see in the darkness. So do not underestimate the power you have to bring hope and joy wherever you find yourself, wherever God sends you. Together, our candles will grow into a powerful flame that will transform Uganda forever. I thank you for listening to me, and I pray for your successful future and for God and my country. Thank you very much.
Another round of applause for the Chancellor, please. And performing arts, a brief musical interlude. Thank you.
You have done so much for me, I cannot tell it all. If I had 10,000 tongues, it still won't be enough. We sing now.
When you heal completely.
Thank you, Performing Arts. Mr. Chancellor, sir, allow me to recognize the presence in our midst of Sheikh Muhammad Ali Waiswa, the second Deputy Mufti, Uganda Muslim Supreme Council, and School Imam, Makerere University Business School. This is a reminder for all of us, please, to keep our masks on because we live in challenging times. I like to urge all of us to keep the guard up so that we are not taken unawares. Mr. Chancellor, sir, at this juncture, may I request the academic registrar to come and perform one item, which has been a tradition of this university at its graduation ceremony to recognize the best performing students in the humanities. Academic Registrar, Mr. Alfred Masije.
Mr. Chancellor, sir, the Convocation Award to the best performing student in the humanities again goes to Makerere University Business School. I therefore take this opportunity to call upon Mr. William Maisho Winston, who did the Bachelor of Business Administration and scored a CGPA of 4.91 out of a maximum of 5. The convocation team, please come forward so that we perform this ceremony as quickly as possible.
Mr. Chancellor, sir, protocol observed. On behalf of Makerere University Convocation, I have the honor and privilege to first and foremost congratulate all those graduates at the 71st Makerere University graduation. Heartiest congratulations from the convocation. Mr. Chancellor, sir, I now have the honor and privilege to give the award to the best performing student at the 71st Makerere University graduation in humanities, once again to MOOBS, the student from MOOBS. Congratulations to Makerere University Business School. For the last 4 consecutive years, this award has been going to MOOBS. May I also congratulate Mr. William Mayshaw, Winston. This convocation award is presented to you in recognition of your outstanding performance as the best student in the humanities at the 71st graduation ceremony of Makerere University, today, 20th May 2021. Promise never to say goodbye. By Dr. Odoi Tanga, Chairman, Makerere University Convocation. Mr. Chancellor, sir, I would like to request now that you hand over this plaque to Mr. William Mayshaw, Winston. Also, the convocation has the honor of presenting to Mr. William Mayshaw a startup capital of 1 million shillings from the convocation.
Why don't we keep clapping for this great achievement? And for those viewing us online, on TV, particularly those still in the undergraduate programs, please take this motivation as a powerful one. Congratulations, Mr. William Mayshaw Wilson. Mr. Chancellor, sir, it's now my honor and pleasure to request the Vice Chancellor, Professor Barnabas Nawangwe, to guide us in the next part of this session. Professor Barnabas Nawangwe.
Mr. Chancellor, sir, I now call upon the deans to present the students in their respective faculties for the award of diplomas and conferment of degrees of Makerere University. I also take this opportunity to congratulate Professor Wasfa Valunywa, whose daughter Maya Valunywa is graduating today with a Master of International Business.
May the graduates for the Doctor of Philosophy kindly move forward. Mr. Chancellor, sir, I have the honor to present to you the candidates from Makerere University Business School who have qualified for the award of the Doctor of Philosophy of Makerere University. Ahimbisibwe Godwin Mwesije. Mr. Ahimbisibwe Godwin studied internationalization of small and medium enterprises in Uganda. This study was funded by Makerere University Business School with support from African Development Bank and was supervised by Professor Joseph Ntai and Professor Muhammad Ingoma. Mr. Hembisiwa is a staff of MOBS.
By virtue of the authority entrusted to me, I confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Philosophy of Makerere University.
Mr. Ogento Paul Maxwell. Maxwell studied citizens' behavior and public accountability in local governments of Uganda. This study was self-funded and supervised by Professor Nixon Kamukama and Professor Joseph Ntai.
By virtue of the authority entrusted to me, I confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Philosophy of Makerere University.
Sopeding Bernard Arukari. Sopeding Bernard studied financial transition among retirees in Nigeria. The study was funded by the Tertiary Education Trust Fund through the University of Jos, Nigeria, and it was provided by Professor Munene, Professor Rora Orobia, and Professor Ernest Abao.
By virtue of the authority entrusted to me, I confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Philosophy of Makerere University.
Henry Mutebi. Mr. Mutebi studied inter-organizational coordination in humanitarian relief delivery. This study was funded by Makerere University Business School and was supervised by Professor Ntai, Professor Munene, and Professor Moses Mwezi. Mr. Mutebi is a staff of MOBS.
By virtue of the authority entrusted to me, I confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Philosophy of Makerere University.
Nkutu Geoffrey. Mr. Nkutu Geoffrey studied risk management performance among financial institutions in Uganda. This study was supervised by Professor Joseph Ntai, Dr. Isaac Ankote, and funded by Makerere University Business School under the Staff Development Scholarship. He's a staff of the business school.
By virtue of the authority entrusted to me, I confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Philosophy of Makerere University.
Nandagire Diana Mwanga. Diana studied collective action in social entrepreneurial ventures. The study was funded by African Development Bank and was supervised by Professor Waswa Barunywa, Professor John Munene, and Professor Peter Rosa. She's a staff of MOBS.
By virtue of the authority entrusted to me, I confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Philosophy of Makerere University.
Kwemalira Godwin. Mr. Kwemalira Godwin studied public interest in Uganda. The study was self-funded and supervised by Professor Munene, Professor Joseph Ntai, and Professor Wanzige Magora.
By virtue of the authority entrusted to me, I confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Philosophy of Makerere University.
Komugisha Catherine Tindiwensi. She studied commercialization of smallholder crop farmers. This study was funded by Makerere University Business School and was supervised by Professor Munene, Professor Peter Rosa, and Professor Ernest Abaho.
By virtue of the authority entrusted to me, I confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Philosophy of Makerere University.
Mugambwa Joshua. Mr. Mugambwa Joshua studied policy implementation, a case of national fisheries policy in Uganda. The study was funded by African Development Bank and supervised by Professor Wire Kaberuka, Dr. Nkote Nabeta, and Dr. Nicodemus Rudahiranwa. Is a staff or MOBS.
By virtue of the authority entrusted to me, I confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Philosophy of Makerere University.
And the PhDs come forward, please, and be honored with that musical performance. Yes, celebrate. Let's join them. Let's clap for them. It's a day of joy. And yes. Congratulations. Yes. Motivation for the first classes, please. That's your motivation. Another round of applause for those PhDs. Thank you. Let's resume.
Mr. Chancellor, sir, I have the honor to present to you the candidates from Makerere University Business School who have satisfied the requirements for the award of the degree of Master of Science in Procurement and Supply Chain Management of Makerere University. Ao Fiona, Atuwera Akatuwera, Karema Robert, Karuhanga Isaac, Kauta Daniel, Kivumbi Rita, Kwabacha Maureen, Kwagara Rebecca, Chomuhendo Rona, Masiko Patrick, Obenyo Paul, Ojoko Baram, Seulima John, Tumhairo Alex, Tuisimire Siofire, Wandova Joseph.
By virtue of the authority entrusted to me, I confer upon all those persons whose names have been read the degree of Master of Science in Procurement and Supply Chain Management of Makerere University.
Mr. Chancellor, sir, I have the honor to present to you the candidates from Makerere University Business School who have satisfied the requirements for the award of the degree of Master of Science in Accounting and Finance of Makerere University. Achak Pasquin, Arjuna Rona, Karungi Edina, Mutes Justin, Nuwagawa Patience.
By virtue of the authority entrusted to me, I confer upon all those persons whose names have been read the degree of Master of Science in Accounting and Finance of Makerere University.
Mr. Chancellor, sir, I have the honor to present to you the candidates from Makerere University Business School who have satisfied the requirements for the award of the degree of Master of Human Resource Management of Makerere University. Agawa Joan, Ambisiwe Trafine, Baker James, Bwire Bernard, Buteka Tracy, Cassandra Clinton, Kawara Lillian, Camille Joyce, Kisambira Helen, Kisoma Robert, Misera Agnes, Mujune Agre, na Kawanda Rachel, Naiga Annette, Nabak Elizabeth, na Bisubi Habiba, ni Mukunda Sandra, na Jemba Brenda, na Mrondo Grace, Tukungaine Janet.
By virtue of the authority entrusted to me, I confer upon all those persons whose names have been read the degree of Master of Human Resource Management of Makerere University.
Mr. Chancellor, sir, I have the honor to present to you the candidates from MOOBS who have satisfied the requirements for the degree of Master of Arts in Economic Policy and Management of Makerere University. Agawa Collins, Ahabwe Silverson, Kasirie Julius, Kisarita Thomas, Magimbi George, Rumanzi Peter.
By virtue of the authority entrusted to me, I confer upon all those persons whose names have been read the degree of Master of Arts in Economic Policy and Management of Makerere University.
Mr. Chancellor, sir, I have the honor to present to you the following candidate who has satisfied the requirements for the award of the degree of Master of Science in Marketing of Makerere University, Nakimpi Kilea.
By virtue of the authority entrusted to me, I confer upon you the degree of Master of Science in Marketing of Makerere University.
Mr. Chancellor, sir, I have the honor to present to you the following candidates from MOOBS who have satisfied the requirements for the award of the degree of Master of International Business. Barunywa Maya, Kingsley Obeng.
By virtue of the authority entrusted to me, I confer upon those persons whose names have been read the degree of Master of International Business of Makerere University.
Mr. Chancellor, sir, I have the honor to present to you the following candidates who have satisfied the requirements for the award of the degree of Master of Arts in Banking and Investment Management of Makerere University. Kiracho Josephine, Tamale Henry, na Kibinge Sam.
By virtue of the authority entrusted to me, I confer upon all those persons whose names have been read the degree of Master of Science in Banking and Investment Management of Makerere University.
Mr. Chancellor, sir, I have the honor to present to you the candidate who has satisfied the requirements for the award of the degree of Master of Hospitality and Tourism Management of Makerere University, Namara Linda.
By virtue of the authority entrusted to me, I confer upon you the degree of Master of Hospitality and Tourism Management of Makerere University.
Mr. Chancellor, sir, I have the honor to present to you the candidate from Makerere University Business School who has satisfied the requirements for the award of the degree of Master of Science in Leadership and Governance, to Shave Monica.
By virtue of the authority entrusted to me, I confer upon you the degree of Master of Science in Leadership and Governance of Makerere University.
Mr. Chancellor, sir, I have the honor to present to you the candidates who have satisfied the requirements for the award of the degree of Master of Energy Economics and Governance of Makerere University. Boy Ben Kusasira Samuel, YB Edison.
By virtue of the authority entrusted to me, I confer upon all those persons whose names have been read the degree of Master of Energy Economics and Governance of Makerere University.
Mr. Chancellor, sir, I have the honor to present you the following candidates from Makerere University Business School who have satisfied the requirements for the award of the degree of Master of Science in Entrepreneurship of Makerere University. Byamukama Paul, Senabulia George, Najuko Dorothy.
By virtue of the authority entrusted to me, I confer upon all those persons whose names have been read the degree of Master of Science in Entrepreneurship of Makerere University.
Mr. Chancellor, sir, I have the honor to present to you the following candidates from Makerere University Business School who have satisfied the requirements for the award of the degree of Master of Business Administration. Abenaito Dativa, Abwanga Bernard, Adong Olivia, Afayo Morning, Ambisiwe Apollo, Akazimara Frederick, Alinda Gilbert, Aliguma Judith, Ariho Prudence, Asime Herbert, Atuere Prose, Atukunda Gordon, Atulinda Joan, Atwine Dominic, Ayebare Barbara, Bagonza David, Bakore Brian, Batuelinde Samuel, Bosa Norman, Kanogura Tone, Elimu Marcos, Kawa Herbert, Kabanyana Diana, Kasile Rogers, Dongo Ronald, Dungu Mahamud, Gonahasa Stephen, Irumba Alex, Kansime Emmanuel, Karuhanga Sam, Katerega Rashid, Katongole Robert, Kawoya Josephat, Kiguli Peterson, Kiza Edgar, Kimera Sam, Kivirire Samuel, Kiyemba Farida, Kobusinje Benes, Koire Collins, Rubega Hawa, Rugema Joseph, Magez Alex, Masaba John, Mbabazi Doreen, Mbabazi Irene, Mbabazi Lydia, Mbabazize Miriam, Meregura Emmanuel, Mpanga Herbert, Mubiru William, Mugabi William, Munabi Robert, Musimirehe Davis, Mutiwa Ivan, Mutuma Peter, Mutungirehe Ramadan, Nabitaka Olivia, Nagaba Brian, Nagai Olivia, Nagudi Aisha, Naijuka Rogers, Nakimuli Maureen, Narubega Hajara, Naruga Ann, Narukwago Kileya, Narule Margaret, Narumu Olivia, Narunga Helen, Naruyombia Nuru, Nambalura Catherine, Namulindwa Joanita, Nankabira Shamim, Nanyondo Olivia, Nansuksa Judith, Nanteza Shalom, Nasuna Daisy, Nanzigwa Godfrey, Ndiamuhaki Anita, Niwagawa Edgar, Nsemerire Christine, Niwagawa Daniel, Nyesiga Samuel, Simon, Oruka Francis, Onene Juliet, Onzia Patricia, Olishaba Dorothy, Olishaba Rebecca, Otiena Richard, Sekadu Arivu Alvin, Semamuli Isaiah, Simba Ramadan, Tamari Francis, tugumisirize Joram, Timuzigu Michael, Tiromwe Sandra, Tubanone Ivan, Tumwakire Fortunate, Tumurami Machuret, Uchanda Daniel, Wambuzi Chobe, Wegoye Paul, Iga Mathias, and Ziwa Alozias.
By virtue of the authority entrusted to me, I confer upon all those persons whose names have been read the degree of Master of Business Administration of Makerere University.
Mr. Chancellor, sir, I have the honor to present to you the students from Makerere University Business School who have satisfied the requirements for the award of the degree of Bachelor of Arts in Economics of Makerere University. Abenacho Dorin, Ademun Sharon, Aguma Alexon, Aineman Loki, Ainebiona Lucky, Ainembabazi Hilale, Ainomugisha Andrew, Akampebwa Jesse, Akamuva Isaac, Akena Francis, Amanyide Dinkins, Amadong Hilda, Angela Maurice, Anita Peace, Apio Mary, Asan Godwin, Atraire Catherine, Atraire Brenda, Aikoru Winnie, Airumba Masse, Basalira Viola, Boaman Joshua, Buide Gerard, Biamungu Goodman, Aaron Edmond, Eseru Enoch, Eyotaru Asio, Iradukunda Rachel, Iram Hari, Iwutang Chwicha Byron, Kavanda Stephen, Kajumba Joanita, Kalega Anthony, Kalinda Peter Solomon, Kamanzi Posiano, Kamukama Mathias, Kaitesi Lilian, Kekibanda Kellen, Kibirige Guy, Kiwika Joshua, Kikule Samantha, Kimuli Peter, Kimuli Precious, Kinyera Francis, Kiongozi Jim, Kirabo Shamim, Kiriado Diori, Kisache Anna, Kobusinje Precious, Kutesa Lina, Kwagala Kwe Rachel, Chebambe Bruno, Mawirizi Mutumba, Mawanda Maria Bridget, Mugenyi Alan, Mukisa Bruno, Mukwaba Ali, Munoni Osbert, Nabasa Elizabeth, Nabada Stella, Nabakoza Dorin, Nafula Rebecca, Naumbwe Shamim, Nakaibale John, Nakitende Eva, Nalwama Aisha, Namagala Dorin, Nampala Sharifa, Namubiru Esther, Namugerwa Bena, Namukasa Flavia, Namukasa Miri, Namuyanja Farida, Nangozi Susan, Nantaba Gertrude, Nasozi PC, Natkunda Catherine, Ngabida Muhozi, Niwa Ngabida Confidence, Nsobia Ayan, Nsubuga Davis, Ntale Solomon, Ntambi Medi, Ntege Aksam, Ntegeka Joan, Obuk Charles, Odo Bea, Ojok Sadat, Onen Emmanuel, Otim Gerard, Oyuki Jonathan, Lutereba Hosea, Namara, Sekamate Jaffa, Segirinya Arian, Senyondo Raymond, Sevome Bashir, Talema Ivan, Tendo Julius, Tokwaro Aaron, Tuliasingura Javil, and Jesile Roderick Donald.
By virtue of the authority entrusted to me, I confer upon all those persons whose names have been read the degree of Bachelor of Arts in Economics of Makerere University.
Mr. Chancellor, sir, I have the honor to present to you the students from Makerere University Business School, Faculty of Computing and Informatics, who have satisfied the requirements for the award of the degree of Bachelor of Business Computing of Makerere University. Achola Brenda, Agava John, Agava Sandra, Agato Grace, Ahereza Brenda, Awera Alice, Aigo Gwendolyn, Ainoviona Anita, Aisia Gideon, Ajambo Rita, Ajo Nelson, Ajuanga Angelina, Akawajira Jerome, Akrut Faith, Alema Mudasiri, Alen Kemisa, Alinaitwe Patricia, Alo Whitney, Amanya Marvin, Ampairo Jacob, Ankunda Sheila, Alinaitwe Wycliffe, Arinda Morin, Aremo Charity, Asimwe Hope, Asimwe Martha, Asimwe Sumaya, Atero Rose, Atieno Dorothy, Atuhere Gloria, Atkunda Bridget, Aor Faith, Ayarengo Fiona, Ainembabazi Agatha, Babirie Elizabeth, Baganizi Martha, Bajole Axel, Bemba Damascus, Begumisa Raymond, Vinzi Kashila, Ugasa Kos, Bukenya Pascal, Buinza Juanita, Wamiki Agustin, Chelimo Mase, Chemtai Colin, Chemtai Roni, Cheptoit Job, Edaku Daniel, Ekwaro Philip, Erenyu Anthony, Esabu Amos, Gwamba Bashir, Guy Paul, Iduma Gloria, Jumbe Benjamin, Kabajwara Ruth, Kadu Rashid, Kahororo Timothy, Kakiro Jessica, Kalavia Alex, Kalema Remy, Karunji Najingo, Kamukama Pauline, Kagume Dorin, Kagume Kelvin, Kansime Miriam, Karegeya Frank, Karunji Audrey, Kasango Raymond, Kasekende Derek, Kaseme Winnie, Katisi Jocelyn, Kato Kevin, Kato Ronald, Katuruguma Albert, Kauma Sarah, Kayanja Edward, Kaye Brinon, Kemgisha Anita, Kemgisha Jamira, Kemgisha Rina, Kanakwa Stella, Chibula Jaladin, Chiguli Shafik, Kiria Samuel, Kiza Elizabeth, Kijambu Mahad, Kemit Brenda, Kisache Patience, Kitavire Viola, Kiemba Isaac, Chiziri Ismail, Kobsinje Rosette, Komagum Godfrey, Kusima Farida, Kutesa Goret, Kutosi Deliverance, Kwagala Patience, Kweramba Joseph, Kwikiriza Gloria, Chekulinde Joram, Chewalanga Matthew, Chomukama Winnie, Lukwago Kenneth, Lunyoro Nelly, Lutaya Edgar, Lutwama Musa, Luwe de Sharon, Mare Haman, Mare Simbwa, Masiko Faizo, Maweje Enoch, Mayanja Amira, Mayanja Ashraf, Mbabazi Immaculate, Mbabazi Israel, Mbinya Jemima, Mbise Hanifa, Misoch Derek, Mubanjizi Maria, Mubiru Moses, Mufupa Bernard, Mugabo Josia, Mugumba Nicholas, Ivan, Mugume Newton, Mugua Alan, Muhire Kenneth, Muhindo Barbara, Muhumza Patrick, Muhumza Brian, Mujuni Jordan, Mukivi Abdu, Mregwe Samuel, Murumba Mathias, Muruji Aisha, Musanje Ezra, Musasizi Shamila, Musisi Charity, Muteve Marvin, Mwanguzi Philemon, Mwanguzi Betty, Mwanguzi Gideon, Nababi Jazira, Nabakawa Margaret, Nabachibi Patricia, Nabasa Osbat, Nabaseruka Pascal, Nabasumba Esther, Nabatanzi Stella, Nabanja Barbara, Nabosa Hanifa, Nabiranda Annette, Nabukalu Rita, Nabukenya Sise, Nabuzale Ruth, Nabwire Teddy, Nagawa Hilary, Naiga Juliet, Nakafero Irene, Nakafu Betty, Nakakande Maria, Nakakawa Harriet, Nakalembe Robina, Nakalule Esther, Nakalyango Sharifa, Nakanyike Charlotte, Nakasi Janet, Nakawesi Christine, Nakauka Margaret, Nakaiwa Oliver, Nakaziwe Lynette, Nachijoba Liz, Nachimbugwe Winnie, Nachimera Elizabeth, Nachimuli Jessica, Nachimuli Rita, Nachirija Linda, Nakubulwa Tracy, Nakubulwa Patricia, Nakuya Mai, Nachejwe Sherina, Nacheyune Sharifa, Nacheyune Taslim, Nalubega Monica, Nalunkuma Bridget, Nalweiso Gift, Naluoga Justin, Naluoga Stella, Namakula Shadia, Namara Patricia, Namaweje Susan, Nambi Esther, Namboire Joanita, Nampereza Harriet, Namubiru Kevin, Namsobo Lydia, Namwase Victor, Nandaula Jalia, Nandaula Nusula, Nandera Gloria, Nagozi Shamila, Nakabirwa Claire, Nakabirwa Eva, Nantandwe Rebecca, Nantai Patricia, Nanteza Shamira, Nantongo Esther, Nantume Fiona, Nazareth Mariam, Nasaka Daise, Nasari Fatuma, Nase Zafarid, Naturinda Michael, Naiga Veronica, Nazinda Christine, Ndagire Mariam, Ndagire Rehema, Neksa Dreg, Nishaba Shifra, Nirigie Rogers, Nkata Gerard, Nkruziza Alan, Noomugisha Prosper, Nsenga Samuel, Nsereko Joseph, Usubuga Derek, Ntege George, Nunu Tendo, Nusifa Namazinga, Nwatuha Dorin, Nyakaisiki Lenet, Nyamaizi Joyce, Nyangoma Felista, Nyibasingo Praise, Nyonya Helen, Ochen Joseph, Ogwang James, Okanya Stephen, Okelo Bartholomew, Okot Polycarp, Olimungu Derek, Onyango Vincent, Opoka Winnie, Osilo Daniel, Oundo Dokas, Oirot Edwin, Ruhinda Naboth, Rukuba David, Rusasa Jovan, Salima Juma, Sebuma Barnabas, Sarah Dorin, Semuju Derek, Senabulia Ukasha, Sengendo Amara, Serugo Akram, Seruoza Agustin, Seruoza Patrick, Sima Shamim, Sogolo Idris, Segirinya Richard, Sengoma Emmanuel, Sempaka Dixon, Sempija Marvin, Semuyaba Douglas, Semwanga Rogers, Sandy Samuel, Senoga Assam, Serunjoji Samuel, Subi Adusel, Teko Ingrid, Tukunde Rita, Tumusime Michael, Tumwesje Joel, Tushave Shena, Tusingwire Richard, Wadega Fred, Wakisa Frank, Walusimbi Eric, Wamono Paul, Wamono Richard, Wanyana Ruth, Wanyoto Eli, Wasaka Andrew, Waswa Brian, Wembabazi Rebecca, Wakadala Arthur, and Zawede Peace.
By virtue of the authority entrusted to me, I confer upon all those persons whose names have been read the degree of Bachelor of Business Computing of Makerere University.
Mr. Chancellor, sir, I have the honor to present to you the students from Makerere University Business School who have satisfied the requirements for the award of the degree of Bachelor of Business Statistics of Makerere University. Abal Lona, Abdallah Muhammad, Achen Diana, Akankunda Lucy, Akatkunda Joy, Amanya Edgar, Asimwe Abraham, Atkwase Hilda, Awori Federica, Bavidie Anita, Baboya Zakaria, Bakoko Hope, Biliomu Maisho Ivan, Bwabye Medi, Bwambale Geoffrey, Yamukama Hassan, Cherotich Hope, Damulida Sharif, Galiwango Isaac, Ganyana Allen, Gumizamu Apollo, Iragamu Valentin, Irumba Patrick, Isiaji Geoffrey, Jamia Abdakami Lim, Kavera Hashim, Kabunga Ali, Kagwa Pius, Kansime Rachel, Kasozi Jackson, Kemirembe Sarah, Kirabo Rachel, Kirunda Julius, Kiza Elvis, Kobugabe Catherine, Jobugasho Diana, Lugove Cyrus, Rukuya David, Makumbi Moses, Masika Mundeke, Mirembe Neri, Mpimbazi Edgar, Mafuge Musa, Mugerwa Peter, Mukota Primrose, Mulunji Brenda, Mwakide Jonas, Mwesigwa Daniel, Mwine Nicholas, Nabatanzi Jacent, Nabukenya Veronica, Najuma Maria, Nakaliango Juliet, Nakato Nur, Nakazi Bridget, Namarwa Jacqueline, Namanya Obe, Namboze Aida, Namiro Edith, Nampala Joyce, Nampala Margaret, Namgalu Gloria, Namsisi Gloria, Namsoke Patricia Kasozi, Namwase Evelyn, Nangiro Bania Mina, Nanyonjo Henrietta, Nansubuga Shakira, Nansubuga Sauda, Navuga Barbara, Ndagide Rachel, Ngeye na Daphne, Niwebiona Ruth, Nsaviuva Doreen, Nsereko Gideon Grace, Orishaba Mary, Sanya Derek, Senkubuge Joseph, Serunjoji Joshua, Semata David, Senabulia Emmanuel, Subi Stewart, Tenywa Abel, Tuliaikayo Amos, Tuegirisa Helen, Wanyenze Shakila, and Watiekere Ronald.
By virtue of the authority entrusted to me, I confer upon all those persons whose names have been read the degree of Bachelor of Business Statistics of Makerere University.
Mr. Chancellor, sir, I have the honor to present to you the students from Makerere University Business School who have satisfied the requirements for the award of the degree of Bachelor of Catering and Hotel Management of Makerere University. Butumanya Faith, Biarogaba Trinity, Gochalia Harriet, Kalaka Sam, Kutamba Paul, Mutai Abel, Mebesa Papas, Nakawenda Olive, Nakiria Jovian, Nanyolo Esther, Rosu Jean, Taka Hope, Tebigwa Monica, Tumusime Davis, Watuke Derek, and Wawamuno Rebecca.
By virtue of the authority entrusted to me, I confer upon all those persons whose names have been read the degree of Bachelor of Catering and Hotel Management of Makerere University.
Mr. Chancellor, sir, on a sad moment, I wish to communicate the death of Professor James Manyenye Ntozi, who passed on yesterday. And the funeral service will take place at 11 o'clock today in St. Francis Chapel. Professor James Manyenye Ntozi diligently served Makerere University for over 43 years. May we observe a moment of silence. May his soul rest in eternal peace. Thank you.
Mr. Chancellor, sir, I have the honor to present to you the students from Makerere University Business School who have satisfied the requirement for the award of the degree of Bachelor of Commerce of Makerere University. Abaho Obed, Abenaitwe Prosper, Abigaba Brenda, Abisowora, Patricia, Achen Solastika, Achen Jubita, Adek Damari, Adinan Ali, Adira Mase, Adongo Rachel, Adripo Brenda, Aduma Joffrey, Agaba Harold, Agumanaito Ronald, Ahumuza Kandi, Aine Sabiti, Aineviona Bruce, Aineviona Jeremiah, Aineviona Rampo, Roro, Ainomurunji Deborah, Akampa Ivan, Akampa Regan, Akampulira Peruth, Akankwasa Anthea, Akankwasa Christine, Akatwejuka Denise, Akena Philip, Akora Kizito, Akoraje Darren, Akware Godwill, Alinda Bless, Amanya Sam, Ampumza Helen, Amuge Beatrice, Amuge Genevieve, Adruma Sevia, Angweyo Proscovia, Ankunda Morin, Anyu Tahiri, Singuzi Justus, Alinaitwe Bridget, Alinaitwe Julian, Asaba Koreb, Ashaba Apofia, Asima Millicent, Asima Johnson, Asima Samuel, Asio Tikira, Atim Grace, Atim Chloe, Athaire Deborah, Athaire Osbat, Athaire Rowena, Athaira Elijah, Atkunda Samantha, Atwine Simon, Atwine Joseph, Auma Annette, Auma Brenda, Aunoi Marion, Awol Michelle, Ayevare Mary Zadik, Aikolu Gloria, Baviria Immaculate, Baviria Monica, Bagome, Charles, Bakifunya, Babra, Bakunzi Jotham, Bamutende Mukuye, Banji Sharon, Bakunda Mark, Basura, Timothy, Baijas Crispus, Berokan Consulat,
Betunga Innocent Birungi Charity Birungi Godfrey Buhamizo David Bukenya Patrick Bukirwa Patricia Bukirwa Rosemary Businje Gaddafi Businje Evelyn Businje Victoria Wayo Albert Wayo Aziza Wire David Byamukama Colin Chelangat Evon Cheptengan Lispa Cheptoris Winnie Daida Paul Dembe Rola Dishime Sharon Emoit Felix Engola Jones Joshua Joru Ewoju Joshua David Fortunate Brenda Gumisriza Farida Habasha Francis Hashaha Sharon Hope Sharon Igumira Benjamin Ijakol Samuel Irakut Daniel Irakunda Shira Isavrie Joe Ishenyi Christine Ishimye Daudi Ishingoma Robert Kabigarire Lita Kafko Rose Kaiso Isavrie Kakande Kaleb Kaliebala Samuel Kamu Tayewa Kamukama Rita Kanyonyi Martha Kapaleta Eri Kasango Azedi Kisembo Jen Kasambo Jen Kasoro Simon Katoko Agnes Kato Hezra Katurebe Julius Katushabe Bridget Kauya Dorin Kawoya Kurash Kaizi Joel Kemgisha Yevale Kemgisha Brenda Kemgisha Daphne Kengoma Inidi Kentaro Diana Kichoncho Waruda Kichoncho Kenneth Kichoncho Magume Kichoncho Patience Kichoncho Priska Chigundu Adinan Kimono na Mono Kirabo Josephine Kirihona David Kiringova Dorini Kishaka Davis Kitimbo Kenneth Kitoke Innocent Kitos Richard Kivumbi Joan Kiza Alvin Kobuyambi Faib Kangumin Kiriza Maureen Ukunda Petra Kusima Angel Cairo Jacqueline Chansimire Maureen Chatuhaire Charity Chestaro Aaron Chomhendo Jesse Laka Rabera Sharon Launde Jovan Raunda Jovan Luboa Mark Lake Martin Lugasa Pius Lunkuse Juliet Luyoyo Samuel Ruanga Desmond Mabea Evans Masaba Moda Masanso Crispus Masika Elizabeth Matov John Matov Stephen Matthew Semanda Mayengo Frank Mbaba Zifiri Mbambu Joan Mbazira Robert Mboga Joel Mpalampa Ian Mugabe Dickens Mugabe Robert Mugabe Davis Mugisha Alex Muhanguzi Arnold Muhechi Matthew Muhereza Julius Muhereza Nelson Mujuni Stephen Mukalu Jamada Muchivi Andrew Mukite Diana Mukuru Ruth Mledu Derek Mulindu Akagwa Munyanda Martha Musubika Betty Musungu Alan Mutes Divine Mutumba Lincoln Muoya Wilba Mwanje Brian Mwere Evelyn Nabada Yunia Nabatanzi Mariam Nabaterega Sumaiya Nabitaka Rose, Nabudere Peace, Nabusindo Joan, Nadase Nikita, Nagwere Yosia, Nahuera Anita, Naijuka Cephas, Nakalema Melissa, Nakalembe Zaina, Nakamoga Hadija, Nakatenorin, Nakawesa Fiona, Nakayemba Viola, Nakaiwa Alice, Nachiboneka Sumpta, Nachigude Margaret, Nachiguri Grace, Nakirioa Feiruz, Nakirioa Hanifa, Nakisa Yvonne, Nakitende Shakira, Nachiwala Anita, Nakiemba Sharon, Narubega Viviani, Naruko Miriam, Narunkuma Monica, Naruze Dorothy, Naruze Margaret, Namagembe Jane, Namakura Vanessa, Namanda Maria, Namanya Justus, Namara Laura, Namayanja Harriet, Namazirita, Nambenjwa Robina, Nambi Martha, Namigade Esther, Namiro Brenda, Namirembe Asmat, Nampera Gloria, Nampija Brenda, Nampulira Alan, Namuganza Rachel, Namuju Christine, Namkasa Dorothy, Namuiga Agnes, Namzungu Jacqueline, Namwebia Vanessa, Namwendero Faith, Namienya Ruth, Nangendo Edith, Nancha Margaret, Nancha Zena, Nansambu Diana, Nanteza Cynthia, Nantongo Shakira, Nanyange Dorini, Nanyiti Hidaya, Nanyonga Margaret, Nanyonjo Peace, Nanyonjo Winnie, Nasasira Makumbi, Nasozi Swabra, Natukunda Joanita, Natukunda Midias, Naturinda Fiona, Nawile Winfred, Naiga Faith, Ndinumukiza Wisdom, Ndwala Alfred, Ndiamwebaze Maureen, Netejire Harima, Ninsima Bridget, Niwemasko Solomoni, Niyozi Zipra, Nkamwesige Bruce, Nkamwesige Brian, Nambalirwa Shadra, Nuwagaba John, Nuwagaba Winfred, Nuwagaba Ason, Nuwagaba Edgar, Nuwamanya Enoka, Nyakun Edward, Nyangoma Beatrice, Nyesiga Richard, Nyonjo Desal, Obori Jasper, Ochak Kon, Ochen Abraham, Ojambo Peter, Ojambo Robert, Ojuka Isaac, Okero Boniface, Okoth Eric, Okuro Prima, Okumu Mike, Okwaringa Geoffrey, Omara Aaron, Omara Emmanuel, Othiano Joseph, Okunda Vanessa, Owori Brian, Oesiga Marvin, Oyera Jennifer, Lutatini Medadi, Lutaganya Rogers, Ruth Nekesa, Sahuru Sophia, Sanyu Emmanuel, Sarah Mariam, Sechtoriko Joachim, Serwada Eric, Sari Alvin, Sempija Stuart, Sengova Ivan, Senyonjo Matia, Taken Benadine, Taremwa Albert, Taremwa Rachel, Tandikwire Joshua, Tayebwa Michael, Tisa Mosha, Tukashaba Rachel, Tumuramie Nyakato, Tumuramie Nyangoma, Tumwebaze Meron, Tumwesije Ivan, Tumwe Tabe Innocent, Tumwine Jordan, Tulinawe Anita, Tulinawe Agre, Tumuramie Sharon, Tuliasingura John Bosco, Tuine Mukama Letitia, Tuino Mujuni Marvin, Wimana Elizabeth, Butwa Farida, Wamasebu Lazarus, Nina Trace, Wandabwa Dennis, Waraga Christoph, Waswa Grace, Waswa Vincent, Watmond Ronaldo, Wochet Joseph, Zakayo Kiplangat, and Zinavala Umaru.
By virtue of the authority entrusted to me, I confer upon all those persons whose names have been read the degree of Bachelor of Commerce of Makerere University.
Mr. Chancellor, sir, I have the honor to present to you the students from Makerere University Business School who have satisfied the requirements for the award of the degree of Bachelor of Entrepreneurship and Small Business Management of Makerere University. Achen Evelyn, Adio Esther, Akero Patricia, Ario Sheila, Amayor Parma, Asimwe Bridget, Asimwe Doreen, Atrinda Obed, Aesga Jacqueline, Buteme Aziza, Cherangat Innocent, Darame Fatuma, Dufitimukiza Rachel, Eumu Emmanuel, Hope Bena, Itat Rebecca, Itono Mori, Kadod Bridget, Kakama Justice, Kamama Hawa, Kansi Ronald, Kante Mariam, Karunji Dorothy, Kasure Jalira, Katongore Yusuf, Kavuru Edrisa, Kawere Arnold, Kaure Mark, Kazero Trose, Chibumba Abe, Chimbugo Festo, Chimuli Sherira, Latimu Jonathan, Rugema Jemuth, Rutama Ronald, Mugerwa Jonathan, Mujungu Habib, Muchara Gloria, Murunji Rona, Mwenze Rachel, Nabatanz Shaima, Nabosa Justin, Nabibuga Karamantu, Nagai Lilian, Nahurira Mumusime, Nahurira Wina, Nakabugo Miriam, Nakas Flavia, Nakate Daphne, Nakato Aida, Nakaiza Gertrude, Nachamu Vanessa, Narua Patricia, Naruga Sharon, Narure Mastura, Narunkuma Zahara, Naruzi Victoria, Namagembe Sabra, Namayanja Proscovia, Namayanja Susan, Nambi Justine, Nambozo Evelyn, Namudu Lydia, Namugai Erios, Namukasa Mildred, Namtebi Immaculate, Namyaro Irene, Nankabiwa Gertrude, Nansha Martha, Nantanda Muonge, Nante Rita, Nante Gesar, Nasoro Hilda, Nasuna Diana, Nyiraling Robert, Ojok Joseph, Ojok Henry, Oki Joel, Okror Ben, Ora Arnold, Opio Joseph, Oporot Michael, Oligumisiriza Timothy, Owino Alex, Omugasho Brandon, Sekaj Cyrus, Sentongo Ari, Torach Ronnie, Tugumisirize Maureen, Tumwesije Jonathan, Tusubira Patience, and Tuyinomugisha Robina.
By virtue of the authority entrusted to me, I confer upon all those persons whose names have been read the degree of Bachelor of Entrepreneurship and Small Business Management of Makerere University.
Mr. Chancellor, sir, I have the honor to present to you the students from Makerere University Business School who have satisfied the requirements for the award of the degree of Bachelor of Human Resource Management of Makerere University. Anyu Merab, Abekun Ronald, Abe Winfred, Abul Catherine, Akok Daphne, Agavire Precious, Agadi Oliver, Ago Rosette, Agwang Judith, Ahereza Lydia, Ainebiona Innocent, Ainembabazi Marcelina, Ainomohanji Daphne, Akampulira Anita, Akankwasa Paul, Akatukunda Stella, Akinyi Rose, Akora Birunji Fiona, Akugizibwe Resti, Alowo Joy, Amal Dorothy, Amanya Melissa, Amasiko Christine, Amoru Priska, Ampaire Stella, Amumpaire Fortunate, Anyi Angel, Alo Joan, Apio Frida, Apio Gladys, Aledo Latin, Alia Trijuka Winnie, Asele Sarah, Aseru Lilian, Asimile Rebecca, Asimwe Julian, Asimwe Mukozi, Asimwe Christine, Asio Brenda, Atuhaire Susan, Atukunda Mike, Atukwase Edward, Atwine Gift, Awujo Helen, Awol Janet, Awol Stella, Ayevale Agate, Ayevale Rona, Babiri Rachel, Bakunzi Godwin, Bamsime Sherina, Bamwagaire Joanita, Bamwenda Julius, Bamwine Lawrence, Bibidong Brian, Businje McLean, Buire Kenneth, Chandiga Hamed, Cherimo Sharon, Data Emmanuel, Dawa Innocent, Draniva Cynthia, Emaso Moses, Emilio Isaac, Goza Damali, Emedi Esther, Ihoro Benjamin, Itandal Kwagara, Jericho Francis Joko, Fiona Jomo Prisla, Joan Wilma, Kavaicha Karen, Kabuho Sabrit, Kahunde Edith, Kajumba Rosette, Kalamira Sam, Kalema Regan, Kalikwani Noah, Kalinda Davis, Kamau Patrick, Kamugisha Joan, Kansime Keith, Kalunji Jovia, Katerega Mark, Kato Andrew, Katshave Sharon, Katsime Juliana, Kauzi Victoria, Kayonde Musa, Kayonde Sharifa, Kayoyo Elizabeth, Kevirunji Evelyn, Kejia Rebecca, Kekimuri Juliet, Kembabazi Jane, Kemigisha Joan, Kirabo Elizabeth, Kiroz Winfred, Kisache Prosper, Kobusinja Trifosa, Kokutengeza Sumaya, Koma Viki, Komudembe Dokas, Komujuni Linda, Kwamboka Rebecca, Kwikiliza Alex, Chalisima Harriet, Chasimile Deborah, Chomuhendo Paul, Lamol Brenda, Lematia Herbert, Lubega John, Ruswata Anthony, Luwadi Alan, Luede Elizabeth, Ruima Gideon, Maneno Mary, Manilio Gad, Manoka Zora, Martin Kaido, Masika Doreen, Matovu Joel, Matovu Joram, Mazige Grace, Mbabazi Harriet, Mboneko Priscilla, Mbuliro Janet, Mirembe Sisi, Mpalampa Mariam, Mpendo Julius, Mubiru Michael, Mugerwa John, Mugerwa Timothy, Mugisa John, Mugisha Tazani, Murungi Lynette, Murungi Timothy, Musana Fred, Musanyana Alfred, Musime Dennis, Musisi Stephen, Musubi Kankwanga, Nabachwa Christine, Nabagulanyi Shaura, Nabasitu Tiopista, Nabawanga Joelia, Nabirie Joan, Nabirie Josephine, Nabirie Sandra, Nabude Winnie, Nadamba Winona, Nafula Joyce, Naheba Mori, Najuka Lilian, Najemba Doreen, Najemba Shamura, Najuma Majori, Nakabugo Olivia, Nakarule Joan, Nakalyango Paula, Nakawesa Molen, Nakayenga Viola, Nakayima Juliet, Nakazimiri, Nachivule Zaina, Nachigude Oliver, Nachivombi Sharifa, Nachiyemba Viola, Nachiyinji Docas, Nakura Sandra, Nachanzi Patience, Nacheje Gloria, Narugo Sandra, Narukenge Grace, Narule Christine, Narule Joan, Namaganda Sabina, Namaganda Tiopista, Namaganda Mary, Namagembe Mary, Namakula Doreen, Namakula Shira, Namata Caroline, Namaweje Mariam, Namboa Rona, Namirembe Whitney, Namirimu Desi, Namonywe Daphne, Nampija Rita, Namganza Sisi, Namuli Harriet, Namuli Joanita, Namsoke Oliver, Namutevi Hajiri, Namuyanja Hadija, Namwase Eva, Nandigi Dennis, Nankunda Justin, Nankunda Oliver, Nanteza Adija, Nantongo Sharifa, Nanyonga Florence, Nanyonjo Doreen, Nasanga Sara, Nasasira Bashir, Nasozi Kirabo, Natufura Daphne, Nayevale Daphne, Naziwa Olive, Ndivaza Allen, Ndiakira Docas, Nishaba Sheria, Nisima Primrose, Niyigaba Isaac, Nagawa Immaculate, Noweitu Matthew, Mtege Isaac, Nuwagaba Timothy, Nuwa Hereza Joan, Nyabigambo Maureen, Nyombi Tembo, Nyombi Peter, Odong Gilbert, Ojambo Mark, Okirol Daniel, Onono Ambrose, Oyara Vincent, Otafire Frank, Owana Johnson, Owayezu Julia, Pima Patience, Pima Pamungu Daisy, Samulaba Aisha, Sejuke Nathani, Sechito Joseph, Sendija Dennis, Senyondo Edward, Senyonga Alvin, Sasimbwa Aisha, Subi Rebecca, Tabu Nelson, Tamzade Francis, Tendo Sharon, Tuhire Prosi, Tukamushava Olivia, Tumusime Juliet, Tuliasingura Rose, Tuikilize Patricia, Tuinomujuni Alex, Tuinomujuni Bernadette, Zamukunda Jacqueline, Wagubala Gerard, Waiswa Derek, Wajja Jane, Walujo Emmanuel, Wanambwa Elisa, Wandela Peace, Waweko Emily, and Zarwango Jonita.
By virtue of the authority entrusted to me, I confer upon all those persons whose names have been read the degree of Bachelor of Human Resource Management of Makerere University.
Mr. Chancellor, sir, I have the honor to present to you students from Makerere University Business School who have satisfied the requirements for the award of the degree of Bachelor of International Business of Makerere University. Ahanyu Dokas, Abasabiona Alexander, Abdullah Haza, Achan Joan, Achen Mase, Acheng Ross, Adoko Ian, Adome Jimmy, Agaba Gerald, Aganyira Martha, Agumendaitwe, Jackie, Ainemani Helen, Mukama Shalom, Aine Mugisha, Tashas, Akampa Hope, Akandinda Ivan, Akankwasa, Venus, Akol Bernadette, Akoth Becky, Amonio, Emma, Amon Beatrice, Amulen Agnes, Amutahaire Patience, Amuine, Alet, Anzo, Isaac, Apio, Sheila, Arinanye Michael, Ariampa, Godet, Asio Maureen, Atai Catherine, Atholere Dennis, Atimango Marilyn, Atuhaire Murali, Atusimire Linda, Atuine Martin, Atuine Trisha, Auma Catherine, Ayebale, Dinovance, Babirie Jamila, Babirie Mary, Bachu, Sumaya, Balonde Sandra, Bareche Julian, Basemera Joan, Bosa Samuel, Birunji Gloria, Usinje Esther, Biabagambi Beatrice, Biamuka Mabosco, Egesa Peter, Gabriel James, Gloria Zavare, Habasa Sheila, Isaiah Joseph, Kawazare Elizabeth, Kabebwa Aurelia, Kabeta Moses, Kabuye Joshua, Kaduroy, Kahesi Namirembe, Kateisi, Maureen, Kajumba, Rehema, Kalunji, Edward, Kankunda, Irene, Karawa, Sauda, Karujonjo, Alfred, Kasasa, Lois, Kasule, Gilbert, Katereka Moses, Kato Moses, Katosin, Akatusabe Eunice, Kavuma Mwanje, Kaiki Mugaga, Kainembabazi Charity, Kemi Gisha Dorin, Kasande Adrin, Kivaya Asimwe, Kibirige Anthony, Giganda John, Chumuro Job, Kiza Joanita, Chimuli Joel, Chiraka Annette, Chirabo Fiona, Chiria Ronald, Kiseka Marvin, Kobusinje Susan, Komuhendo Eseza, Komuhendo Fiona, Komuguliza Monique, Kukundakwe, Caroline, Chagulanyi Abraham, Chaji Tuha, Savera Lamara, Sandra Lubinga, Mark, Luima, Michael, Mashandich, Herbert, Masiko Rogers, Bekeka Sophia, Mpindi Sara, Muberuka, Abdul, Mugabe Vincent, Mugalula, Hassan, Muganga Fred, Mugera Alex, Mugume Andrew, Mugume Joy, Mugumira Ronald, Muanguzi Moses, Muhindo Hope, Muhindo Daniel, Mukama Amon, Mukavale Lusega, Mulikatete Fenina, Mulumba Eric, Murunji Anita, Mutebi John, Muhidi Stella, Mwebeze Kamana, Isaac, Nabasa Charity, Nabada Hiba, Nabaka Sharifa, Nabate Hamida, Nabirio Judith, Nabisere Rachel, Nabukalu Zwailat, Nabunya Maureen, Nabule Monica, Nabuire Kate, Nabuire Sheila, Nabionga Mary, Nabianga Aisha, Nagawa Rachel, Nagawa Chelsea, Nahalamba Esther, Naiumbwe Shamina, Nakagulire Caroline, Nakajimu Vanessa, Nakasi Feridas, Nakasika Eva, Nakato Dorothy, Nakawombe Deborah, Nakigozi Jane, Nakimbwe Shamida, Nakiruta Susan, Nakisike Brenda, Nakiyaga Shamira, Nakiyemba Mary, Nakubulwa Sarah, Nalubega Audrey, Nalubega Bukenya, Nalubowa Helen, Nalu Garden, Namagembe Betty, Namanda Harriet, Namara Tracy, Namata Fenina, Namayega Jacqueline, Nambozo Shifa, Namiro Sharon, Namubiru Maria, Namudu Rehema, Namutebi Juliet, Namuyomba Diana, Namuyomba Medina, Nandaula Mariam, Nanduga Zaituni, Nanono Mariam, Nansamba Dafin, Nanteza Paulina, Nanteza Rita, Nantongo, Kuluthum, Nanyazi Aida, Nanyonjo, Joyce, Nasiwa Christine, Natujuka, Shivan, Nazira, Gomez, Naziwa Florence, Naziwa Jalia, Nekunda Lea, Ninsima, Alexandra, Njagala Najiv, Njuguna Samuel, Ndabara Fred, Ntanda Eric, Ntesibwe Gesta, Toreire Eva, Nyanzi Rajab, Nyeko Collins, Odoch Innocent, Okalany Enyalu, Olemu Unyang Alan, Ovizio Juliet, Omugisha Charles, Pico Fiona, Ruchogoza Elvis, Rukundo Patience, Rutali Hamwe, Abdurakim, Sajabi Latifu, Sasirabo, Rona, Sarah Jacinta, Sempagala, Brian, Sekide Martin, Sema Kade, Aslam, Sembatia David, Sentumbwe Joseph, Serwada Jesse, Sevume Adrin, Semaya Kasolo, Tumusime Christian, Tushabe Andrew, Tuahirwa Paul, Tuesige, Geoffrey, Tunamugisha Olivia, Uwera Lilian, Waiswa Tom, Waithera Ruth, Wamono Eric, Wanyana Geraldine, Wanyenzi Gloria, Jacinta Clement, and Yahweh Hudson.
By virtue of the authority entrusted to me, I confer upon all those persons whose names have been read the degree of Bachelor of International Business of Makerere University.
Mr. Chancellor, sir, I have the honor to present to you the students from Makerere University Business School who have satisfied the requirements for the award of the degree of Bachelor of Leadership and Governance of Makerere University. Awumuza Jofia, Akankwasa Brighton, Alinda Daniel, Babirie Iman Lagava, Desderanta Namsoke, Kalunji Brenda, Kato Esther, Kato Ian, Komu Juni Rebecca, Malinga Charles, Moi Peace, Mugala Daphne, Mugenyi Enoch, Mugume Elijah, Mutiwa Angela, Babirie Rashida, Nakasaga Walugembe, Nachagaba Agnes, Namakula Elesi, Nandege Vivian, Nasuna Nachito, Negesa Flavia, Nsimenta Elizabeth, Ntwale Magid, Nyadoth Kate, Oyela Shira, Robina Afieno, Tekako Jonathan, Tumwebaze Christine, Tumwine Enoch, Tusingwire Romras, Walsimbi Calvin.
By virtue of the authority entrusted to me, I confer upon all those persons whose names have been read the degree of Bachelor of Leadership and Governance of Makerere University.
Mr. Chancellor, sir, I have the honor to present to you the students of from Makerere University Business School who have satisfied the requirements for the award of the degree of Bachelor of Leisure and Hospital Management of Makerere University. I have a joy, Akuturira, Edrita, Akelo Faith, Akwech Hilary, Amongin Shina, Ankunda Helen, Akiriza Michelle, Atuhaire Rachel, Atuheire Edina, Atukunda Evelyn, Basali Rashadia, Kalenda Aisha, Goloba Patrick, Itait Martha, Kangave Roni, Katusime Christine, Kaitesi Rachel, Kiza Irene, Joshabire Sherry, Masikolin, Mparire Elizabeth, Mugenyi Natalie, Murunji Justin, Mwebaza Dorothy, Nabachwa Victoria, Nabasa Evelyn, Nabanja Shadra, Nabembezi Nia, Nafuna Sandra, Nahiria Joan, Najemba Christine, Nakinji Lynette, Nalumu Ephras, Namale Juliet, Namara Rita, Namatovu Angelica, Nambalirwa Sharon, Nampungu Jamila, Namukwaya Dafin, Namutebi Zahara, Namuwaya Benalet, Nankanja Martha, Nakinga Janet, Natukwasa Arthur, Naturinda Joan, Nemigisha Emily, Nyacho Annette, Rohinda Memory, Sekubwa Adam, Serwada Emmanuel, Tuhirire Joan, Twebaze, Macklin, and Wabroko Precious.
By virtue of the authority entrusted to me, I confer upon all those persons whose names have been read the degree of Bachelor of Leisure and Hospitality Management of Makerere University.
Mr. Chancellor, sir, I have the honor to present to you students from Makerere University Business School, Faculty of Computing and Informatics, who have satisfied the requirements for the award of the degree of Bachelor of Office and Information Management of Makerere University. Abaho Clinton, Adoko Vivian, Adulo Miriam, Ainom Gisha Noelia, Akelo Mase, Angura Sharon, Ankunda Ruth, Asekenya Zipra, Asigwire Masa, Nagula Jovic, Bira Rosette, Bira Shamim, Birunji Samari, Wiwo Dokas, Viona Rukia, Ejang Eve, Kabang Sophie, Kagame Paul, Kakumba John, Kakungulu Joan, Kamukama Grace, Kasirie Derek, Katamba Jimmy, Kauma Faima, Kayesu Silvia, Chimuli Musa, Chegombe Musa, Luswata Felix, Masa Kevin, Mpaire Brenda, Mpambara Diana, Mpanja Catherine, Mugisa Timothy, Muchala Kevin, Nabakoza Rita, Nabanova Brenda, Nabukenya Daphne, Nabunya Zahara, Nabwire Faiba, Nagadia Joanita, Najira Nora, Najemba Eseza, Nakakande Lucia, Nakalembe Shamimu, Nakato Celine, Nakavumbu Jocelyn, Nakaiwa Patience, Nachibule Irene, Nachimete Rachel, Nakubulwa Monica, Nalubanga Winnie, Naluganda Victor, Nalugwa Jalia, Namara Chantal, Namukwaya Dorcas, Namulume Jamida, Namulindwa Stella, Namulondo Judith, Namulwana Latifa, Namuyomba Patricia, Nansanji Maureen, Nasereko Aida, Nantanda Mariam, Nasazi Rachel, Nasuna Jaifa, Natwera Animu, Nantkunda Ainevabazi, Naziwa Caroline, Ngabirwa Susan, Nganda Annette, Night Leticia, Nimsima Patricia, Nkonoka Erina, Nsereko Laira, Tulume Yusuf, Nuahereza Lilian, Nuamanya Atina, Nuenyina Innocent, Nyangoma Edina, Nyapendi Victoria, Obira Alice, Ongen Emmanuel, Okum Godfrey, Ruyonga John, Sali Selina, Sechizibu Michael, Sempara Fahima, Sewa Gude Nicholas, Sunday Charles, Taka Margaret, Wafula Nathan, and Yiga Henry.
By virtue of the authority entrusted to me, I confer upon all those persons whose names have been read the degree of Bachelor of Office and Information Management of Makerere University.
Mr. Chancellor, sir, I have the honor to present to you the students from Makerere University Business School who have satisfied the requirements for the award of the degree of Bachelor of Procurement and Supply Chain Management of Makerere University. Abasa Samson, Abiria Jacqueline, Abraham Maluka, Abubakar Mariam, Acheng Josephine, Achieno Harriet, Achidri Ronald, Achio Fiona, Adeka Faith, Agaba Joan, Agaba Precious, Agaba Jordan, Agre Tomeka, Agumire Mark, Aguti Sisi, Ahaisiwe Angelina, Ahebwa Caroline, Aimbisiwe Ivan, Ahumuza Editor, Ainemba Bazi, Anna Maria, Akankunda Pamela, Akechi Christine Vicky, Akelo Nancy, Akwene Elizara, Akuku Edward, Akumu Irene, Akwenyi Patricia, Alalo Jessica, Alice Mary Emmanuel Sande, Aliwakuchi Deron, Alobo Jovia, Aluga Fiona, Amanio Gertrude, Amanio Akisa, Amanya Batheda, Amanyire Gilbert, Amentono Alice, Among Santa, Ampereza Alan, Angala Henry, Anite Hudaya, Anyaiti Enid, Apide Charles, Erinda Emma, Aliatugumya Misera, Asaba Leticia, Asaba Rita, Ashraf Sarah, Asianzu Barbara, Asimwe Michael, Asimwe Smith, Asire Sharon, Athieno Yunus, Atimango Joan, Atuganyira V. Catherine, Atuhaire Dorin, Atuhire Fiona, Atkwase Aloysius, Atwine Martin, Avule Isaac, Ayevale Duncan, Ayela Jerome, Babidie Gloria, Bagote Fred, Baguma Shakil, Bahati Jacqueline, Bakesi Macaroline, Bateta Agnes, Bibo Here Mark, Bidabwa Regina, Birunji Sharon, Bukirwa Patience, Businje Vanita, Bwesije Simeon, Chepkweboy Patra, Chesang Joy Masai, Condition Gift, Dia Elizabeth Ojera, W.O. Ibrahim, Dikusoka Willie, Diwale Morris, Dule Emelda, Evidi Agre, Edema Emmanuel, Alogu David, Gamba Abdallah, Gumonye Aisha, Hamba Miriam, Husahia Paul, Iganga Richard, Isiko Ronald, John Baby, Kabahinda Girdin, Kabahuma Joy, Kabala Godfrey, Kabazi Faith, Kakayo Patricia, Kakoza Posiano, Kambale Patience, Kamukama Godwin, Kasima Nixon, Kasirivu Arnold, Kasoma Mubarak, Kato Charisima, Kato Paul Kayanja, Katoko Emile, Katusime Rita, Kayaga Viola, Kembabazi Edina, Kemigisha Ruth, Kemirembe Gauda, Kayinza Catherine, Kisa Sandra, Kigozi Nicholas, Kijambo Derek, Kijusio Sandra, Kiraga Ronald, Kiraire Joel, Kirunda Ivan, Kirwana Alan, Kisache Masse, Kisache Pius, Kisache Sarah, Kisamba Derek, Kitibwa Ellen, Kitone Noeri, Katongo Isaac, Kiyinji Henry, Kizito Edrin, Kobusinje Hawa, Komuhanji Bridget, Komujuni Witness, Komchea Joan, Kurishaba Shira, Kungu Sanyu Noah, Kunya Patrick, Chasa Stephen, Cheago Shamim, Chomugisha Sala, Chomuhendo Nsimire, Lidria Poscrovia, Longoli Jemima, Longoli Jennifer, Maia Sicily, Caps, Mangeni Andrew, Manzi Anthony, Masau John Paul, Matovu Jordan, Jojo, Masiko Livingstone, Mayinja Henry, Mbabazi Brenda, Masi Viola, Monero Angela, Mpata Derek, Mpaji Mark, Mpanga Samuel, Mpengo Francis, Mudangi Douglas, Mudangi David, Mugabo John, Mugisha Arthur, Muhumuza Albert, Mukalazi Patrick, Mukama Jeremy, Mukisa Aida, Mukisa Deogracius, Mulu James, Musime Susan, Mutabazi Junior, Mutebi Arafat, Mutenyo Peace, Mutoni Asumpta, Mutoni Fiona, Mwebaze Nuriat, Nabakasha Dia, Nabasumba Mostula, Nabosa Caroline, Nabikira Abel, Nabiria Angela, Nabukera Proscovia, Nabunya Lisa, Nabule Hayat, Nadir Muhammad, Nagawa Sharifa, Nagawa Sharon, Nakabo Bridget, Nakagolo Zakia, Nakalama Christine, Nakasita Tendo, Nakato Agnes, Nakato Mariam, Nakide Shamim, Nakide Ruth, Nakimbugwe Shifra, Nakito Mariam, Nakuya Nabira, Nalugo Lydian, Narule Margaret, Narumansi Mary, Narumansi Ruth, Naruanga Sharifa, Namala Josephine, Namale Benita, Namata Anita, Namatovu Susan, Namazi Elizabeth, Nambito Aisha, Nampima Rehema, Namubiru Patricia, Namganyi Monira, Namgombe Mary, Nandudu Nicolette, Namfuka Bridget, Nanchia Shabiba, Nanseleko Catherine, Nanskombi Nancy, Nansove Elizabeth, Nantaba Flavia, Nantongo Soleya, Nanyunja Betty, Naleva Ivas, Nasali Gertrude, Nasimbwa Joan, Natkunda Margaret, Natrinda Martha, Nuaguna Haula, Naiga Brenda, Ndagire Angela, Ndagire Vivian, Ndagire Kevin, Ndidia Gerard, Nekesa Igwine, Ngamaroth Godfrey, Ngangewo Joy Robina, Ninsima Susan, Nuamanya Sharifa, Nabada Pauline, Nuagaba Samuel, Nuahereza Barbara, Nuarinda Brenda, Nuenyire Sharon, Nyakaishichi Shekila, Nyakaishichi Caroline, Nyakecho Rachel, Oba Samuel, Odong Bone, Odang Emmanuel, Ogwang John Bosco, Okot Joven, Okwale Alex, Ondili Maureen, Opero John, Owundo Kennedy, Owino John Bosco, Owori David, Oyat Sharon, Rukundo Naboth, Sakiki Musa, Sekweyama Peter, Semitala Arthur, Sebowa Ronald, Tashovia Norman, Timuzigu Nicholas, Tumukunde Ivas, Tulinawe Kenneth, Tuliahewa Claire, Tusime Darison, Tusingire Crispus, Tuishime Eric Munyakazi, Tuijuche Dawson, Wambuzi Rogers, Wampande Nasa, Waswa Peter Chome, Yiki Evans, Nzangabai Ann, and Zawede Esther Joanita.
By virtue of the authority entrusted to me, I confer upon all those persons whose names have been read the degree of Bachelor of Procurement and Supply Chain Management of Makerere University.
Mr. Chancellor, sir, I have the honor to present to you students from Makerere University Business School who have satisfied the requirements for the award of the Bachelor of Real Estate Business Management of Makerere University. Ahimbisiwe, Livan, Ajwang Winnie, Businje Annette, Ebunyu Aaron, Kahwa Julius, Kisache Timothy, Chiwano Vincent, Chasimile John, Nsimenta Allen, Simiyu Derek, Sentongo Michael, Wagumbulizi Kennedy.
By virtue of the authority entrusted to me, I confer upon all those persons whose names have been read the degree of Bachelor of Real Estate Business Management of Makerere University.
Mr. Chancellor, sir, I have the honor to present to you students from Makerere University Business School who have satisfied the requirements for the award of the degree of Bachelor of Science, Accounting of Makerere University. Abeja Holga, Abeja Magdalene, Abba Susan, Abraham Mondi, Adeke Caroline, Adong Patience, Agaba Isaac, Ahaere Ulian, Ahereza Hilda, Akelo Prisika, Akteng Judith, Akrut Patricia, Amolikan Gloria, Alupo Ruth, Amompaere Grace, Anyine Crescent, Apolot Prisika, Arinaitwe James, Arinda Precious, Arikot Karen, Asayo Florence, Asimwe Brave, Asimwe Jennifer, Asiyo Grace, Atim Diana, Atkunda Patricia, Atkunda Winnie, Atkwase Brenda, Atumanya Alvin, Atwong Irene, Aya Lillian, Ayuji Sarah, Babile Ruth, Bachu Ali, Baguma Henry, Balibola Innocent, Base Kawalida, Binji Martha, Birunji Brenda, Businge Catherine, Bule Asman, Biamukama Angela, Echat Peter, Esupulinas, George Prims, Ibanda Bashir, Iojil Sarafin, Kagwaya Melan, Kagwaya Sarah, Kansime Natasha, Kasada Absolomon, Kasirie Frank, Kasirie Henry, Katumba Jime, Katushabe Doreen, Katushabe Peron, Katusime Doreen, Kawala Betty, Chibilige Pius, Chibota Joffre, Chigongo Abdul, Chikomeko Bright,
Chiza Ambrose, Chiza Darius, Chiza Fred, Kiranda Alan, Kisembo James, Chiumulo Vanessa, Kobutunji Claire, Kokoi Hijira, Kokushubira Lillian, Kukiriza Trevor, Kunihira Martha, Kusasira Stephen, Chomgisha Monica, Chomgisha Speciosa, Lokute Abraham, Lumu Hassan, Male Martin, Maseruka Habiba, Mpilire Winnie, Mugabo Conrad, Mugenyi Albert, Mugera Derek, Mugad Gideon, Muhumuza Romas, Mukabalisa Jacqueline, Mukera Sophia, Mukwaya Stephen, Mulondo Dennis, Muzira Julius, Muzora Crispus, Mwebaze Sophia, Mwesiga Barnabas, Mwesigwa Joel, Mwima Enoch, Nabachwa Christine, Nabulime Julian, Nabunya Prosi, Nagawa Prosi, Nahawe Abigail, Nahura Gift, Nahwera Robert, Nahwera Lord Mary, Naigaga Joanita, Najemba Florence, Nakabira Christine, Nakalika Joan, Nakandi Bridget, Nakawanda Sharifa, Nakawesa Sylvia, Nakayaza Fiona, Nakaiza Esther, Nachiveru Mastula, Nachide Sumaya, Nachigude Grace, Nakia Magdalene, Nachitende Maria Gloria, Nachito Keti, Nachene Trisha, Nachonyi Gonzaga, Naluoa Shalua, Naluoza Susan, Namakula Farida, Namala Annette, Namanda Immaculate, Namara Chelsea, Namatovu Christine, Nambaira Shadia, Namitala Vivian, Nampija Allen, Namgema Esther, Namuju Helen, Namkasa Claire, Namkose Joanita, Namuli Manjeri, Namlindwa Magdalene, Namulise Hasifa, Nancy Pony, Nandaula Hamisha, Namfuka Juliet, Nansereko Abisaji, Nansubga Vivian, Nantale Rona, Nanyombi Teddy, Natuhamia Julian, Natulinda Brian, Natulinda Austin, Nawanji Teddy, Naevale Joan, Ndibagera Caroline, Nekesa Diana, Nyakato Winnie, Nyara Christopher, Nyesiga Gilbert, Nyombi Nabil, Ochea Mzamil, Odong Samson, Ojangole Moses, Okedi Richard, Okrut Nelson, Olanya Jacob, Onyango Anthony, Okiriza Marvin Simon, Oyese Stephen, Oyuru Stephen, Rubaita Lionel, Ruhanga Kiza, Anastasia, Sabano Oliver, Sagala Aiden, Sekamate Derek, Senya Judith, Shafik Daudi, Sanyu Anne Mary, Sechikwa Oscar, Senono Andrew, Serwo James, Takwenda Shifa, Tendo Linda, Tibulia Fiona, Tuhaire Lindon, Tumsime Nathan, Tumwebaze Tungason, Tuliamhika Moses, Tusime Anita, Tusime Mary, Tukrize Fiona, Tuizerimana Patience, Wabulo Mark, Waiswa Moses, Wandiaka Brian, Waswa Alex, Zawede Metrona.
By virtue of the authority entrusted to me, I confer upon all those persons whose names have been read the degree of Bachelor of Science in Accounting of Makerere University.
Mr. Chancellor, sir, I have the honor to present to you the students from Makerere University Business School who have satisfied the requirements for the award of the degree of Bachelor of Science in Finance of Makerere University. Abaho Godwin, Anabo Mase, Arinaito Jacqueline, Ashaba Sandra, Asime Eras, Ato Edith, Avua Derek, Ayevale Judith, Aikoro Queen, Christine Kell, Eriku Alan, Galiwango Andrew Guma, Marvin Hasfa Abdunur, Jamil Abdu, Jurago Christoph, Kachenga, Diana Kanakulia Bendito, Kankihiro Daniel, Kasaja Andrew, Kasaja Abel, Kasuja Jonathan, Katsime Kenneth, Kawan Ndama Andrew, Chigundu Brian, Kikuyo Serunjoji, Chimuli Hamza, Kirenda Helga, Kalikumwino Peace, Kobsinje Elisias, Kutesa Perus, Chabarunji, Sumaia, Lekuru Palma, Rubega Ramza, Maganda Zimaka, Miro Samuel, Mugerwapo, Mujuni Benderson, Mukisa Emmanuel, Murunji Hawa, Mumba Rachel, Musimenta Bruce, Musisi Derek, n'abayigwa Mase, n'abirye Winnie, n'agawa Fiona, n'ajemba Immaculate, n'akalanzi Rashida, n'akazi Madalena, n'alukenge Pasis, n'alunkuma Harima, n'amakula Aida, n'amatovu Rachel, n'amayanja Angela, n'amiro Adriana, n'ampeo Sibera, n'amubiru Bridget, n'amulira Immaculate, n'amutebi Priska, n'amutuma Norman, Nancha Amina, Ndeyona Brian, Nduga Deogracias, Negesa Gladys, Nekesa Priska, Nkojo Joan, Intege Nasa, Nyangoma Linda, Newell John, Ogaya Joseph, Owenne Zake, Owembabas Anita, Owera Enoch, Rutakirwa Conrad, Sebuliba Castro, Semakula Edison, Serwaj Anthony, Tebuzibwa Margaret, Tashobia Tofas, Titina Clovis, Tendo Ezra, Tentana John, Tukamshaba Doreen, Tumuhairwe Illuminati, Tumuhereza Kennedy, Tuinamasiko Kenneth, Owera Benyinya, and Waiswa Francis.
By virtue of the authority entrusted to me, I confer upon all those persons whose names have been read the degree of Bachelor of Science in Finance of Makerere University.
Mr. Chancellor, sir, I have the honor to present to you the students from Makerere University Business School who have satisfied the requirements for the award of the degree of Bachelor of Science in Marketing of Makerere University. Aguti Susan, Ahaire Catherine, Ainembabazi Kevin, Akampurira Kelemu, Akanyijuka Mase, Akite Sheila, Alaro Ker, Elizabeth Apeleru, Flavia Asimwe Anita, Atukwase Albert, Auma Hana, Ayebare Arnold, Baidu Nelson, Ongere Maureen, Balanja Huntington, Muyera Calvin, Egesa Bob, Gathiang Chatiem, Gaita Mary, Jiramia Brenda, Kafaku Rehema, Kainza Aisha, Kamugisha Sam, Kamurasi Patrick, Kato David, Kemisa Wanjiku, Kakasa Doreen, Komakech Dennis, Kusingura Justus, Charikunda Galidis, Chazet Fatuma Luze, David Luanga, Regan Magezi Swabahat, Mugalala Gala, Eric Mugula Jabir, Mukibi George, Mukwaya Sebastian, Musimenta Diana, Musumba Anzelim, Mutebi Andrew, Mwisiga Daril, Nabudo Sherina, Nagita Roda, Nagudi Khadija, Nakamate Bridget, Nakato Fenina, Nakazi Prosi, Nakito Tracy, Nachabula Foebe, Nalubega Jarira, Nalubega Naima, Nama Kola Ernest, Namatovu Maureen, Namayega Mebo, Namrembe Ruth, Namujuzi Cleopatra, Namuonge Caroline, Namuonge Yamira, Namuyanja Tekra, Namfuka Florence, Nankebe Gertrude, Nansekero, Nansereko Patricia, Nasali Gertrude, Nasala Jacqueline, Natukunda Ronette, Nebanda Joyce, Nemwa Shamira, Ngorok Gideon, Nimusima Peter, Nsamba Brian, Nawahereza Scovia, Ochen Walter, Olama Bright, Otieno Moe Emurut, Rothungeo William, Seguya Lilian, Seruyanje Richard, Simbwa Close, Tumubula Julia, Tumuhaise Crispus, Tumusime Sharif, Waiswa Boni, and Wanyana Sarah.
By virtue of the authority entrusted to me, I confer upon all those persons whose names have been read the degree of Bachelor of Science in Marketing of Makerere University.
Graduates, you're reminded about your masks. Please keep them on. Thank you.
Mr. Chancellor, sir, I have the honor to present to you the students from Makerere University Business School who have satisfied the requirements for the award of the degree of Bachelor of Transport and Logistics Management of Makerere University. Aguti Sandra, Akelo Gladys, Alile Azima, Alinaitwe Ishabela, Ampile Ronald, Amumpaile Regan, Amtumisire Boblin, Alinaitwe Brian Kachoni, Asaba Yassin, Asobasi Timothy, Ayuno Agnes, Babilie Anita, Babilie Catherine, Bomboka Richard, Baguma Dan, Biansi Osbert, Cherangat Hope, Egatu Mark, Emong James, Helmi Faizo, Ikomit Emmanuel, Isabidia Frank, Isabidia Peter, Itekami Clark, Kabahinda Sipso, Kafelo Faizo, Kamukama Rita, Kamia Beka, Kasada Joram, Kashaba Kano, Kasule Emmanuel, Kerebi Prista, Kihembo Hope, Kiza Bridget, Kizache Joyce, Chambade Henry, Chomgisha Yuda, Lunkuse Lydian, Masagazi Nusufa, Mazina Robert, Mubiru Abdul, Mugisha Shamim, Mukamanampa Sheila, Musimise Chipraise, Mutakovia Innocent, Mutumba Bule, Muanguzi Gideon, Nabude Doreen, Nabulega Oliver, Nafula Brenda, Najuma Topista, Nakambugu Jackie, Nakamia Immaculate, Naluega Mayhood, Namagaya Sherifa, Namande Edith, Nampija Sumaya, Namputa Miriam, Namugenyi Sherina, Namuli Anita, Namuzige Nasula, Nandaula Grace, Nanyuja Juliet, Nasa Side Eliab, Nasuna Gloria, Natkunda Mary, Nazua Aida, Nimwesigwa Dorothy, Ninsima Caroline, Nsimbi Isaac, Noagaba Hirare, Ochen Jacob, Ogambo Ivan, Okaje Peter, Okero Richard, Okero Brian, Omel Peter, Othieno John, Aturo Emmanuel, Lukumba Calvin, Lulangi Rua Derek, Senta David, Semuli Nicholas, Sendaula Henry, Toko Docas, Tumuhaire Yvonne, Tumukunde Moses, Tusime Diana, Tweje Maurina, Trongereire, Wamani Philip, Wambuzi Paul, Wanjala Philip, and Wanyana Alinabelle.
By virtue of the authority entrusted to me, I confer upon all those persons whose names have been read the degree of Bachelor of Transport and Logistics Management of Makerere University.
Thank you.
Mr. Chancellor, sir, I have the honor to present to you the students from Makerere University Business School who have satisfied the requirements for the award of the degree of Bachelor of Travel and Tourism Management of Makerere University. Abera Naume, Agaba Mark, Agasha Priscilla, Ahebwa Pauline, Ainembaba Zimatha, Atukwasa Colin, Ankunda Sheba, Asasira Daphne, Ashaba Lavan, Asingizwe, Attractor, Hawar Lilian, Ayebale, Thedius, Baguma Henry, Baketunga Tobias, Bamwesi Dixon, Bamwesi Samuel, Banura Bridget, Bareche Winnie, Barugahare Richard, Birunji Daphne, Bulumba Christopher, Wambale Delight, Bogideo, Biansi Javan, Cheptoek Fidel, Ediamu Jesse, Elume Julius, Inzikuru, Sharon, Kabuzi Asuman, Kakai Gloria, Kalyango Edward, Kamasaka Masi, Kamia Moses, Kasozi Adam, Kasuna Anes, Katongole Edward, Katusabe Christine, Kavulu Ibrahim, Kemigisha Passes, Kemirembe Winnie, Chibuka Zalika, Jidega Daniel, Kowe Edwin, Kumura Winfred, Kusima Fortunate, Kakuwa Rachel, Kokunzire Caroline Lubega Manisuli, Masereka Joseph, Mayambala Joseph, Mbeyede Violet, Menya Dennis, Muganga Tony, Muhozi Abraham, Muhumuza Chris, Mukunde Efrans, Munyagwa Silas, Murunji Francis, Mushega Edgar, Mutabazi James, Mutegeki Bob, Mutesi Hazida, Mutibwa Edris, Naba Gulanyi, Leticia, Naba Siria Sharifa, Naba Wanuka Joyce, Navale Dorothy, Nabosa Shamim, Nabiteme Shakira, Nabu Kenya Christine, Nabuami Sylvia, Nabuire Diana, Nagawa Sandra, Nagai Alice, Naiga Mariam, Nakabungo Shalua, Nakakande Caroline, Nakakande Teddy, Nakigozi Recho, Nakigude Rita, Nachitende Recho, Naku Regina, Nakubulwa Joan, Nalika Tracy, Nalukwago, Lynette, Nalwanga Evelyn, Nalwanga Michelle, Namba Tua Jessica, Namirembi Von, Namitala Neolin, Nampera Irene, Namukose Afusa, Namulondo Ruthi, Namutebi Gloria, Namutebi Juliet, Namuiga Catherine, Namuyomba Winnie, Nandudu Linian, Nankumba Aisha, Nanteza Janat, Nasali Asia, Naziwa Caroline, Nasuna Claire, Natukunda Barbara, Ninya Joel, Kabahita Helen, Namugisha Desire, Nsanji Daisy, Nyangoma Sandra, Nyunyuzi Beatrice, Obatia Gladys, Ochen Duncan, Ochokuru Florence, Ogen Andrew, Okurut Lazarus, Owamugasha Jacob, Sumaya Saha, Titia Vanessa, Tumuramwe, Justin, Tumusime Ivan, Tumwesije Daniel, Wabwoba Ephraim, Wasaja Edward, and Yeno Joseph.
By virtue of the authority entrusted to me, I confer upon all those persons whose names have been read the degree of Bachelor of Travel and Tourism Management of Makerere University.
Mr. Chancellor, sir, I have the honor to present to you the students in business school who have satisfied the requirements for the award of the degree of Bachelor of Business. Judy Isaac, Osbat Charlotte, Aguma Simon, Aguma believe I Nebiona Alan, and Asimwe Pet Flavia, Asimwe Beatrice, Asimwe Emily, Asimwe Jane, Asimwe Lynette, Asimwe Jezebel, Asimwe Kakulu, Asitu Tom, Asinge Tom, Asio Sarah, Atalemwa Diana, Atana Alice, Atalemwa Justus, Ategeka Hajara, Ateno Dorothy, Donna at Auma Sandra, Auma Maureen, our Patience, our Christine, Ayamba Kato, Ayabare Shivan, Ayawaziwe Brenda, Ayawaziwe Fortune. Wesigwa Lilian, Byarohanga Julius, Vyomahanji Rachel, Chandiga Pepe, Chandru Lilian, Cheleng Dapi Kennedy, Damria Sabra, Dram Nelson, Rushiru Deborah, Ajiku Godfrey, Achiquida Sanyu, an Elite Alpha, Amaju Noel, Emmanuel Michael, Emron Peter, Etol Mark, Eyokia Stella, Faida Monica, for Obo, Gonza Immaculate, Gumoshabe Jane, Gochari Anifo, Hamba Diana, Hamimu Ali, Hannah Maria, Hasaya Vivian, Hasaya Ellen, Iga Ishak, Igud, Ihala Deborah, Ngat Nora, Ruth, Sakbida, Tikohaba Tithungu, Isa, Kampire Mary, Kamsime Joan, Kamwine Barbara, Kanakulia Caroline, Kato Emmanuel, Kato Hussein, Kato Peter, Katri Hakim, Kachawe Gloria, Katsime Charity, Katsime Hilda, Kavuma Jonathan, Kawestinta, Kayaga Jackie, Kayaga Shamim, Kaiwa Davis, Kauza Akzam, Kaziwe Ibrahim Zakoni, Kebedi Aran, Kibirango Charles, Kibirije Martin, Choncho Florence, Kidega Charles, Kigonya Isaac, Kigonya Natasha, Kilia Paul, Chiza Asaf, Chikome Mary, Chelai Jonita, Chimbuke Joffrey, Kimpaye Flavia, Chinshaba Sarah, Chintu Ismail, Chintu Eric, Chintu Paul, Chisache Esther, Chisache Maureen Evelyn, Chisache Nicole, Chisache Rhoda, Chisembo Jamil, Chisembo Lynette, Chisembo Sylvia. We can take a break. Subi Abuk Tui Sandra Kiwalabia Enoch Chiza George Kobungas Agaba Kobusinja Juliet Kobusinje Rachel Kobusinje Temple Kobusinje Rachel Kobusinje Mary Komakech Godfrey Komakech Kenneth Komendo Daphne Komjun Nora Komjun Rachel Kundakwe Prose Kulaba Joshua Kulaba Kopade Kolumesara Kushaba Arthur Kusima Shadi Kuzukira Loben Kwaga Patience Kwalkunda Naume Kwizera Isaac Chaba Gujovan Chakunzile Anisha Chacho Fortunate Chalgonza Jovia Charlie Taka Robina Champide Shiba Chosimile Apofia Choine David Choine Fahad Chome Daniel Chomujisha Shakira Chomuhendo Pola Chomtima Murunji Miriel Chon Lirwe Sinde Chosimile Aisha Chotia Patricia Latifa Kayagalayet Etza Lekul Gloria Libajiza Maureen, Linda Harriet, Logose Caroline, Lubulwa, Godfrey, Luce de Gracias, Luganda Marion, Lugolovi Colin, Lugolovi Peter, Luija Martin, Lunkuse, Damali, Lutaya Charles, Navasa Fahad, Mabonga Moses, Madeo, Spiciosa, Maganda Tony, Magara Kenneth, Magomo, Jethro, Maka Ibrahim, Masada Doni, Masika Rita, Masuti William, Matovu Dennis, Matovu John, Masco Biven, Mayega Nicholas, Mayende Undo, Mayengo Mike, Mbabaz Gertrude, Mbabaz Brenda, Mbabaz Goretti, Mbazira Kevin, Mbogo Kalifani, Makede Fiona, Menya Rogers, Meringi Jane, Mirembe Docas, Mirembe Immaculate, Mirembe Patience, Mirembe Zahad, Mondela, Fatuma, Mondo Fabian, Mubiru, Tebule, Mubiru Gideon, Mudondo Toti, Mufumbiro Enoch, Mugabe Martin, Mugabe Sad, Mugabe Ali, Mugabirwe Alan, Mugaju Tom, Mugara Edgar, Mujisha Boris, Mujisha Derek, Mugume Oscar, Mugwaneza Antoinette, Muhammad Abdukarim, Muhechi Hilda, Muhenda Solomon, Muhonjera Farid, Mumuza Roy King, Mukala Kasa, Paul, Mukasa Augustine, Mukasa Timothy, Mukasa Margaret, Mukembo Ivan, Mukaye Shanorita, Mukisa Daniel, Mukula Sam, Mukundane, Michael, Mukwaya Fahad, Muchara Jore, Mulapada Davis, Mulavu Mwebaza, Mulinde Dennis, Mulindo Moses, Mulumba Mahad, Mulumba De Gracias, Mulumba Mahad, Mumpe Julian, Muna, Mubaraka, Munduala, Mariam, Mungu Jakisa Maxwell, Mulindo Tadeo, Mulunji Samela, Musanje Kevin, Mushabe Edwin, Musikula Martin, Musimenta Joan, Musoke Jacob, Musubika Joyce, Mutabazi Derek, Mutaka James, Mutebi Robina, Mutoni Fiona, Muanguzi Isaac, Muanguzi Haman, Muaya Abdul, Muange Ivan, Muingo Alan, Muanje Bridget, Muanje Pius, Mwasham Mariam, Mwesigwa Geoffrey, Mwesigwa Raymond, Mwesigwa Ronald, Mwesigwa James, Mwima Sarwa, Nabachwa Chantal, Nabagere Gaddafi, Nabageseran, Letitia, Nabachivi Hilda, Nabasiye Jamila, Nabatanzi Sumaya, Nabatanzi Jacqueline, Nabatanzi Juliet, Nabawanuka Rebecca, Nabanja Elizabeth, Nabibuga Usma, Nabilia Peace, Nabia Sylvia, Nabisere Denise, Nabukalu Faith, Nabukera Brenda, Nabukonde Irene, Nabunya Agnes, Nabusawa Winfred, Nabutanda Rebecca, Nabuma Regina, Nabusostera, Nabuide Gloria, Nadiope Yosia, Nafisa wa Diala, Nagaba Trace, Nagadia Brenda, Nagasha Sandra, Nagawa Daisy, Nagai Annette, Nahilia Gloria, Nahura Alpha, Naisamula Joanita, Naisumbi Mabangi, Naisubi Jenny, Najemba Brenda, Najemba Josephine, Nakai Winnie, Nakawa Anna, Nakabida Fiona, Nakachwa Fauzia, Nakadama Vivian, Nakafero Sharon, Nakaima Fatuma, Nakalanz Kevin, Nakalanz Dorothy, Nakalembe Joycelyn, Nakada Sarah, Nakanjako Shamila, Nakasi Shamim, Nakasita Angela, Nakato Agatha, Nakato Brenda, Nakato Mary, Nakato Zaira, Nakato Barbara, Nakato Doreen, Nakawesi Korita, Nakauka Joan, Nakaiza Christine, Nachibuka Shamila, Nachibuka Christine, Nachibuka Teresa, Nachigude Jamila, Nachigude Robina, Nachigude Flavia, Nachiguri Josephine, Nachigwe Sylvia, Nachibuka Joyce, Nachimuli Sharita, Nachilanda Maria, Nachilanda Violet, Nachilia Constance, Nachilija Mile, Nachisui Lilian, Nachitende Evelyn, Nachitiwa Safina, Nachito Joanna, Nachito Mole, Nachito Shakira, Nachito Jane, Nachiwu Goretti, Nachiemba Bridget, Nachinji Madrin, Nachinji Ramtula, Nachinji Joan, Naku Aida, Naku Hilda, Nakungu Sharufa, Nakubulwa Lilian, Nalondo Victor, Nalubega Lilian, Nalubega Mary, Nalubega Jane, Naluwa Farida, Naluwa Josephine, Nalukwa Gomile, Nalule Oliver, Naluyo Namtevi, Nalumasi Eunice, Nalunkuma Fiona, Nalusiba Bridget, Naluwaga Allen, Naluwaga Dana, Naluge Letitia, Naluima Angela, Naluze Brenda, Naluzi Jacqueline, Naluoga Diana, Naliali Max Miller, Namaganda Vivian, Namaganda Lilian, Namagembe Mase, Namagembe Fatuma, Namagola Teddy, Namakola Daisy, Namakola Prose, Namale Margaret, Namale Mutumba, Namale Rebecca, Namanda Letitia, Namanya Ajidi, Namanya Alan, Namanya Colin, Namata Doreen, Namata Janet, Namataka Susan, Namatov Angela, Namatov Joa, Namatov Salima, Namaweje Lilian, Nambeja Margaret, Nambi Eva, Nambi Julfa, Namboze Ruth, Nambu Sirina, Nambu Yaklea, Namele Fiona, Namiru Miriam, Namisango Margaret, Namisano Kate, Namitanda Juliana, Nampima Daisy, Nampima Vivian, Nampila Allen, Nampija Teddy, Namubiru Angela, Namubiru Hawa, Namubiru Lydia, Namubiru Fiona, Namudu Hajara, Namugabo Lydia, Namugalu Viola, Namugaya Hajara, Namugaya Eva, Namugosa Joy, Namujogo Daphne, Namukwaya Joan, Namukoma Faizo, Namusoke Rashida, Namuleme May, Namuli Sandra, Namuli Susan, Namuli Indwa Jamia, Namusisi Sise, Namusombia Sophie, Namutevi Dana, Namutevi Monica, Namutevi Ruth, Namutevi Sylvia, Namutunzi Grace, Namuonge Shalom, Namuyaba Rachel, Namiga Annette, Namiomba Rashida, Namiaro Margaret, Nandutu, Annette, Nafuka Patricia, Nangaban Jane, Nangobi Agnes, Nangobi Martha, Nangoli Derek, Nankabirwa Catherine, Nankabirwa Prose, Nania Mary, Nanyonga Jackie, Nanono Hilda, Nantaba Hilda, Nantaba Susan, Nantabu Charlotte, Nantale Rona, Nantambi Shamim, Nantambi Josephine, Nantanda Pauline, Nantege Shiba, Nantege Shamim, Nanteza Esther, Nanteza Jackie, Nanteza Fiona, Nantongo Gertrude, Nantono Nori, Nantongo Shamim, Nantongo Catherine, Nanyange Latifa, Nanyengo Gertrude, Nanyonga Joelia, Nanyonga Victoria, Nanyonjo Shadia, Nanyonjo Irene, Napeyok Joan, Nasasra Peace, Nasimwa Patricia, Nasiwa Christine, Nasongo Jessica, Nasuna Yudaya, Nasubo Jacqueline, Natavi Priscilla, Natasha Lisa, Natukunda Lambert, Natukunda Barbara, Natukunda Peace, Natukunda Rosary, Natukunda Ruth, Natukunda Talent, Natujuka Ivan, Nachang Gloria, Navuga Flavia, Naibale Praise, Naiga Kabaziga, Ndalu Jessica, Ndaisenga Josephine, Ndenzi Lenita, Dego Muhammad, Divaza Caroline, Difuna Salim, Nolebe, Ondoa Ngonzi Winnie, Ngwabe Rita, ni Shaba Stewart, ni Sima Praise, Nwaga Baroni, Nwasa Siragoyas, Niyonga Moses, Nkuluziza Frank, Nkwanga Rodney, Nkwasibwe Agnes, Noe Caroline, Siuka Kairat, Sovia Munira, Nsubuga Henry, Nsubuga Sadat, Ntabazi Josephine, Ntanda Brian, Ntege Stephen, Mr. Chancellor, this program is full of breaks. Nwabine Paula, Nwagaba Macklin, Nwagaba Peninas, Nwagaba Ronald, Nwahereza Joan, Nwahereza Mark, Nwaninda Bidison, Nwasi Marita, Nyago Fred, Nyambele Mariam, Nyango Marita, Nyanjulu Karen, Nyanjura Victoria, Nyanzi Charles, Nyevu Francis, Nzabache Harriet, Obo John, Oburu Timothy, Ocheng Peter, Ochora Martin, Ocho Gule, Odong Julius, Odong Martin, Ogema Mark, Ogora Constance, Ogwang Godfrey, Ojobilu Sylvia, Okale Francis, Okalebo Andrew, Okea Dennis, Okeo Tony, Okeo Clement, Okeo Emmanuel, Okeo Michael, Okelong Amos, Okoth Akumu, Okoth Francis, Okuku Joshua, Okuonzi David, Olega Martin, Olo Naftali, Oloya Patrick, Oluka Emmanuel, Oluka Allen, Omakwa Hakim, Omayo Salim, Omika Aisha, Omoding Emmanuel, Omol Joseph, Onechan Simon, Ongadia Robert, Onziga Caesar, Opera Emmanuel, Opera Michael, Opio Ijala, Opio John, Pirmande, Opolot Bernard, Opua Vanessa, Opuno Pius, Osimwe Austin, Osinde Brian, Osinde Joseph, Otang Isaac, Otebo Francis, Otim Hudson, Oweki Simon, Owembabas Brenda, Omsha Prose, Owoli Edgar, Oyela Gorete, Oyela Anna, Oyeboth Sharon, Oyomila, Pade Robina, Palanda Jordan, Philo Nganda, Pima Jennifer, Rajab Mariam, Rosari Roy, Rojo Flavia, Lubagumia Victor, Lukundo Simon, Luchemba Joshua, Ruma Emmanuel, Rothomio Simon, Rothomio Martin, Savit Jamima, Salum Wada, Sanya Charles, Seguya Rashid, Sekabembe Vanessa, Sekaja Moses, Eliazi Eric, Semanda Isma, Sempuo Jeremiah, Setebele Moses, Sebude Henry, Sebuliba Grace, Sebuma Yolam, Sekamate Henry, Semakula Joseph, Semanda Samuel, Sempera Dagara, Sentai John, Sewante Gerard, Sozi Reagan, Suna Patrick, Subo Sylvia. Sande Rita, Sande Christopher, Tamanyirwa, Namutebi, Tanga, Edwin, Talemwa Hilare, Talemwa Esau, Tasingwa Mary, Tebenkana Huzaifa, Tendo Hanan, Tendo Luce, Tenywa Joseph, Tezikoma Joseph, Tembo Apipawe, Trinity Desire, Tubenawe Eunice, Hame Jasper, Tukei Justin, Tumuhise Judith, Tumwebaze Marvin, Tumwebaze Pauline, Tumwebaze Nachkunda, Tumuine Priscilla, Tulinawe Javira, Turuhuche Rona, Tuliasima Nicholas, Tusime Caro, Tusubira Gloria, Twahirwa Richard, Tuiziche Bill, Tunamasko de Gracias, Tunomjisha Judith, Mutoni Joanita, Utamuliza Joan, Uize Iman, Charity, Nyoru Jane, Waiso Peter, Wakabi Nathan, Wakungu Dennis, Walela Isaac, Walusimbi Shafik, Wambu Rachel, Wandera Fadhira, Wandera George, Wandera Sadala, Wandera Anthony, Wandera Everest, Wandera Stephen, Wango Mary, Wangolo Tito, Wani Kevin, Wanyana Patricia, Wanyana Jahula, Waswa Lawrence, Wataka Mase, Welike Simon, Welin Rebecca, Welin Joan, Uwe Peace, Kawela, Yadri Hilale, Zabiba Umar, Zansanze Sharifa, Zawadu Vaira, and Zawede Patricia.
By virtue of the authority entrusted to me, I confer upon all those persons whose names have been read the degree of Bachelor of Business Administration of Makerere University. By virtue of the authority entrusted to me, I adjourn the fourth session of this congregation.
Can we rise on your feet, please? That marks the end of the fourth session of the 71st graduation ceremony. We thank you, Mr. Chancellor, for a job well done, and we'll let the Chancellor's procession, the Chancellor to be led out by performing arts, and then the rest of us will follow. Academic staff, please join the Chancellor and according him the honor to exit. The graduands, please let me request you to remain in standing to honor the Chancellor's exit, and then the rest of us will follow. Academic staff, please join the Chancellor's procession. Mr. Chancellor, we thank you so much for presiding over this event. The chairperson, the council, Professor Walunywa, the principal, deputy principal, and all academic staff, administrative staff of Makerere University Business School, we honor you and we thank you for a job well done. And the graduates, we wish you a happy celebrations and journey masses to your destinations. Thank you so much for having come and attended this event, and God bless you all. Amen.
Everyone would want to be exceedingly successful. Education is a foundation to success. One must attend education from an institution that provides transformative and innovative teaching, learning, research, and services responsive to dynamic national, regional, and global needs. The year 1922 laid down a stone mark for this dream of success, the start of a technical school that has grown beyond leaps and bounds into the great Makerere. Makerere University now boasts of a population of over 40,000 students, making her one of the largest universities on the continent. Ranked third as the top prestigious university on the African continent, Makerere provides the best programs that have nurtured many influential and powerful figures
impacting the world. Makerere University offers more than 457 programs, awarding certificates, diplomas, undergraduate and postgraduate degrees. The university is renowned for its disciplines that include humanities, social sciences, natural sciences, veterinary medicine, and human medicine, among others. At Makerere, we take in the importance of carrying on your passion to the world. For example, we offer programs in medicine for students who have the passion to treat and save lives. Engineering for those with the zeal to fix and design the world. Law for students whose passion is to fight for rights and justice. Performing arts and film for the creative minds, and many more. Makerere does not stand alone. We have linkages with communities through the internship scheme, with the aim of producing practically oriented graduates that meet the required job-related competencies of their future job creation and community relevance. Established in 1949, our library is the biggest on the continent. It is the national legal repository for the country and for the United Nations. It archives rare and near extinct material of historical importance. Makerere University has modern facilities through which it provides a very conducive learning experience. We offer our students practical facilities, including the teaching hospital for medical students at Mulago Hospital, an agricultural research institute at Kabanyolo, and Wiana Farm. At Makerere, we are also very proud of our world-class science labs. Computer labs for the IT students, a radio station for journalism and mass communication students, an art gallery for the students of industrial and fine art, and many more. Students' learning is also enhanced through exchange programs with different universities from all over the world. Makerere is an equal opportunities and gender-responsive institution. We guarantee students' safety by providing accommodation in 12 self-contained affordable halls of residence within the university and several affiliated hostels outside the university for both male and female students. Makerere has an enabling environment for student study. At Makerere, we value sports because sports helps students and staff grow intellectually but also keep fit. We have quite a number of sports here. With our better understanding of health and its impact on learning, we have a team of trained staff that not only treat, but also intervene appropriately to counsel and guide them on health matters and emotional struggles. Your physical challenges should not limit your access to Makerere University. We have facilities and programs that enable you achieve your dreams. Makerere University is no longer the ivory tower she used to be. From north and south, from east and west, Makerere University welcomes all those yearning for a quality higher education, producing professionally grounded and versatile graduates. Because we build for the future.
The day the world stopped was the day we found where to go. From now on, we're not going to leave anything on our plates because we've learned to say